Is it starting? I believe it's starting. Uh-oh. Yep, we're live. I don't even know what to do. Should I do my normal, like, disgustingly obnoxious intro I do? Are you just going to be completely silent?
Uno momento.
Okay. So... Well... Hello, Zero viewers. How are you today? Greetings. Okay. All right. Yeah, it did automatically tweet that I started. So that's nice. I don't know what to I don't know how to entertain the masses.
I don't know, just read the chat and see what they say.
All right. Say something, chat. Hello, please. Anything.
This is a great start.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Everything is going extremely well.
Yep, you're doing a marvelous job.
I sure am. Okay. You can't say that you're here to start the stream when you've been here this whole time. Oh my god.
That's the joke.
No. What is the person with all the numbers in their name saying? Could this be the following question?
Yeah, that's me.
Is that
that's
you?
My channel.
Okay. All right. That's good because I was too lazy to try and actually find your channel, so I didn't put it in the description.
So. I forgive you.
Okay. I'll rectify that later. I promise.
Doubt it. All right, so now that we are all here, we can begin. So, start the stream.
Okay. I'm just gonna do my normal little hi. What even is my intro normally?
Yeah, we're gonna cut all this part out when you upload
Can we
it
do
later.
That? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut it off. So we're gonna start all over. 3, 2, 1. Quiet on set. Action.
Okay. Hi. Welcome everyone back to my channel and stuff. I am here with the one and only Nemo, who is handsome, charming, and entertaining, and he's here to be all those things right now. So, yeah. Hooray!
Well, you don't have to lie about me.
That was better, right?
Alright, now, so, y'all, this is Nemo. I'm doing my best to sound white, so. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm tired, actually. I'm really tired. I didn't sleep at all last night, but other than that, I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
So, what's in the cup? Is that vodka?
Mm-mm. It's water. I promise it's water.
Disappointing. I expected more from you.
I know. It's too early in the day for me to start drinking.
Alright, so let's address the elephant in the room. Your t-shirt, that I told you before, it needs to change, but
no!
Can we just, again, tell everyone how awful that it is and that anime is wrong?
Yeah, this stream and all of its participants fully endorse all anime. That's an official statement. So.
Again, you don't have to lie to the two people who watch on the stream. No one endorses anime.
Oh.
And we all agree that My Hero Academia is like the third best.
No. Yes. We don't agree on that. We cannot agree on that.
We agree on that.
Oh.
Everyone agrees with Nemo because Nemo is always right.
Oh, that is incorrect.
False. Again, Nemo is always right.
Well, we've reached an impasse. What? 5 minutes into the stream?
Well, I guess we'll just have to end the stream now. We can no longer continue. Yeah, no, anime is trash, but I forgive you.
Okay. Well, what do you like, since you clearly have different. We'll say different taste
I
in
mean, superior taste.
different
Um,
taste.
superior taste. So I like anything good. So anime typically doesn't qualify. But right now I am rewatching the TV series Hannibal.
Oh, are you?
Yes, with Mads Mikkelsen,
Mhm.
the most suave dude ever. I think, in my opinion, that TV series is better than the Hannibal movies. While most people would think, oh, Silence of the Lambs is the greatest, had
Mhm.
that TV show continued and was able to redo the film, the TV
Mhm.
series would have surpassed that movie in every way, shape, and form
Yeah.
because he's better at being Hannibal than the other guy,
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of
Anthony
people
Hopkins.
say that. I've heard a bunch of people say that it's way better than the movies, and I haven't watched it yet. I want to really bad, but I've
Oh,
not acquired it yet in any extremely legitimate way. So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna,
Amazon Prime.
yes, that's exactly how I'm gonna get it and watch it. Really, I promise. But yeah, I want to watch that really bad.
Yes. Are you a food person? And by that I mean, do you enjoy cooking? Because there's a lot of that on the show, and it'll make you hungry.
Um, I enjoy ingesting food. As far as cooking, I can usually make a bag of popcorn without setting my house on fire.
Um,
Um,
ironically, like half the girls at my college could not do that. So
really?
there was literally about every year 2 or 3 fire alarms in the girls' dorm because someone burnt popcorn. So
Wow. That makes me feel a little bit better.
it
Um,
shouldn't, because those were the bottom rung of society. So you're just slightly above that.
okay. Well, it still makes me feel better. But yeah, no, I can't cook, but I'll watching food exist does make me hungry, so I'll probably still
Right.
have that issue.
Are you a big fan of cats? Obviously, yes. There
Yes.
may or may not be one episode where they discuss cat guts.
Okay.
So,
That is a component of cats, so I might enjoy that, I suppose.
and not in the context of what happens on the show, but
Yeah.
let's just say that certain people have certain tastes when it comes to musical instruments.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yep. Other TV shows that are good for people to watch. You hate superheroes, but I will always argue that some of the DC CW TV shows are great
Mm-hmm.
shows, apart from all
Yeah.
the tween drama and shirtless
Yeah.
men. It's not enough shirtless women, but equality and all that stuff. And then what else is there that's good to watch? I hate Rick and Morty, but I watch that
Why do you hate
absolutely
it? Oh my God, why?
because everyone said it was the greatest show ever. It was so funny. You need a
So
high
it ruined
IQ to
it
watch
for
the
you.
show. And then I watch it, and it's like, well, there's like a dozen cartoons that do this exact same stick.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
just more adult versions of that.
Yeah.
So, like anything on Cartoon Network is basically Rick and Morty. I should say Adult Swim, but
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That was one of the things that put me off of it at first, just that it's identical to the animation style of everything else. Like it's like formulaic. Like
Mhm.
people
And they're
think that you have to
self-aware.
make
They
them look
know
like
that.
that. Yeah.
I guess apparently I like the episodes that everyone dislikes as well.
Really?
Because I actually liked Pickle Rick. I didn't like the memes that came out of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, the whole sequence where he's in the therapy with whatever, that
Mhm.
actually worked well.
Yeah.
But then everyone was like, oh no, the season's awful. Women wrote it. And it's like, well, yeah, of course it's going to be awful if women wrote it.
Oh
But
my
this was
God.
genuinely okay. That's why too many women in anime. That's why it's no good.
Oh.
I digress. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I I have like it's so popular. It's like shoved down your throat so often that I don't think I'll ever be able to like objectively decide whether I liked season 3 of Rick and Morty or not. Like I started watching before season 3 came out. So I like watched seasons 1 and 2 a couple times each. And then like season 3 was so different. Like I watched it differently because you watch it, it's on once that week. I don't get to rewatch it later to catch all the things I missed. And nobody will shut up about it on social media. So like I'm torn. I feel like season 3 had some of the best episodes, like the oh my god, what was the episode called where Evil Morty like won the election at the Citadel of Ricks? Like I can't even think of what that episode was called.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Evil Morty, only because my roommate dressed as Evil Morty on Halloween.
Oh god. I'm sorry.
And I have to say, that's literally the laziest costume ever.
Yes.
It's just a
Yes.
yellow t-shirt and an eye patch.
Uh-huh.
Yet it worked so well. And
Yeah.
people
Everybody would be
recognize
like,
it.
I know who you are.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. But no, I think my favorite season is the second one, only because of the summer episodes. Which
Yeah.
I think Summer is a better character than Morty.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's why I liked it. But again, in season 3, they kind of corrected that mistake and said, "Oh no, it's about Rick and Morty, not Rick and Summer." So it's like, no, I think the dynamic between Rick and Summer is way better than Morty. Just because if Morty's gonna be the butt of almost every single joke, why should I care about his character?
Yeah.
And if he's gonna outgrow that, then it's not Rick and Morty anymore. It's like Rick and slightly smarter Morty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I must have read it somewhere just disgustingly stupid like Tumblr, but I thought season 3 was going to like expand a lot more on Beth and Summer's characters, and I was really excited for that because I freaking love Beth, and then it just didn't. Like I feel like there's no character development in season 3 at all. It was weird. And like yeah, like season 1 was definitely, I would say, equally about Rick and Morty. And then season 2, it was like Rick seemed like he was the only common thread. And then they actually did explore the other characters more and expand on them. And then season 3 was just.
Well, season 3 had a few Jerry episodes, so that was
unfortunately, okay. Yeah.
Do people still hate Jerry for some reason?
Yes, because they're not morons.
Are they though? To me, the whole McDonald's incident kind of makes me feel like half of the world are a bunch of Jerrys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true.
I think Jerry did have some development, because he's back with what's-her-face's name, but at the same time, I think a lot of it's just contrived, just because, oh, we don't want to be episodic, let's go somewhere. But at the same time, I much rather have like weekly episodes with a less arc overall, but it's consistent in the fact that, oh, each episode will change the characters, instead of, oh, we have to do like a 3-episode arc, and that's why they change versus change over time.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, that's probably part of why I felt like season 3 was just so lacking. I mean, I still think it had some of the better episodes, but it had probably like, if I had to like rank all the episodes in order, probably like the bottom like worst 5 episodes would all come from season 3 in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, I did like the Avengers knockoff episode. Well, is that season 3 or season 2?
That was season 3, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a little bit of loose thread at the end, but it works.
Yeah.
I feel like Rick and Morty is becoming more and more like Family Guy. Not tonally, but that's how I feel. My feelings when I watch the show. It's like, oh, it's just a slightly better Family Guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Futurama and American Dad are way better, but no one gives those the time of day.
I would strongly disagree. I mean, I like Futurama, but I don't know. I still categorize American Dad with like, I don't know. I just categorize it with Family Guy and The Simpsons. Like stuff that's more comedy than plot. But no, that's not fair either, because all of those things are still more comedy than plot.
Oh, if you consider Rick and Morty comedy, then sure.
I don't know. I could never get into like American Dad or Family Guy or anything that I just have like lumped those things together in my mind.
Interesting. I will say Rick and Morty has gotten better in terms of it knows it has to be smarter, but at the same time,
Mhm.
I don't think the writers are as smart as they think they are.
Yeah.
But I think they know that the audience is also not as smart as they think they are. And
Yeah.
that kind of balances out,
That's probably
unfortunately.
true. Yeah.
But when you actually have smart people like us watching the show, it's like, huh. So that's what dumb people think intelligence is.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think the show would probably be better if like um what are the kids calling it these days if everyone had slept on it? Like if the show had still only had like a cult following, I think it would be way better. I think like the way it like skyrocketed in popularity between what seasons 2 and 3, I think that that almost like guarantees that your show is ruined because there's so much hype surrounding it. There's so much corporate stuff going on. Um,
Hmm.
I think like that almost guarantees that a big chunk of your show is just going to be structuring stuff about like structuring stuff around how you can sell shirts and merchandise and stuff like that. I think that your show's almost
Merchandising.
doomed. Yeah, once you get to that point.
I yes and no. I think because of the delay between the next
Hmm.
season, a lot of that can be pushed aside because
Yeah.
they have time to think about what they're going to be doing. And
Yeah.
since they know they're good for another 72 episodes,
Yeah.
there will be some of that, but it will be planned better versus revolving around that.
Yeah.
But I hope it dies after those 72 episodes because no
Oh,
way it's going to stay good past 50.
I know. I know. Yeah, there I don't want to believe that, but it's probably true. It's yeah.
Eh. Speaking of which, what was your favorite episode again?
Of the show in general?
Yes.
Um oh my god, I don't know.
Because I've only
I
seen it once.
yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah. I guess whatever what was it called? See, that was the episode that like they pretended it was going to be about something else. And like the main Rick and Morty who we usually follow were off banging mermaids and then the episode switched and was about the whole Citadel and the election and stuff. I think that's probably my favorite episode, whatever that was called.
Hmm. I'm not a fan of the Citadel only because it's been done before,
Yeah.
and I'm not a fan of that. I don't remember where, but I've seen that so many times where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's have a super smart guy, let's have them all meet the other smart people, and I think that's when the show kind of went downhill to me,
You
where
think
it
so?
became not so much downhill, but it's like the one off would have been fine, the season opener is fine,
Hmm.
and then now we have Evil Morty, and that to me is too much plot in a
Yeah.
show that doesn't need an overarching story.
Well, like yeah, I think that definitely would have been more appropriate at the end because I do think that some of the best episodes in the series overall were in season 3. But then like the season finale was it was like non-existent. Like I felt like literally nothing had happened. Nothing happened. Like there was no plot in the season finale. If you're going to do that, you know, build it up either at the beginning or at the end of each season or both. Like, don't, it was just bizarre how they had a couple actual plot driven episodes in the middle and then,
It doesn't pay off. And
yeah,
see,
it's very odd.
I'm okay if you want to end the season with like 3 episodes set tied together, and then
Hmm.
you rewatch the entire season. It's like, oh, these little things here and there leads up to this, but
Yeah.
it's contained in the season that can be addressed in the other seasons.
Yeah.
But I feel like episodes like that, they needed to dedicate time to this happening so
Hmm.
that the payoff later they can say, "Oh, we can do this storyline now." It's
Yeah.
like I won't call it filler, but it's that development that has to happen. But there's only one way you
Hmm.
can do that. I feel like you can do that in other ways. Like you probably haven't heard of the TV show called The Flash, or because you don't like good superhero
Well,
shows.
I've heard of it. How do you not hear about every superhero show? They're everywhere all the time. I've heard of the show.
Or have you heard of Cloak and Dagger though?
I don't know.
Exactly, because it's about a
Eh?
white guy and a black girl.
Oh.
Flip those, actually. It's a black guy, white girl.
Oh.
That's the good combination. But no,
Oh.
back to Flash. Um, Flash came as a spin-off to the show Arrow. But
Okay,
what
yeah.
Arrow did in season 2 was they had a bunch of subtle references to an event, and
Hmm.
when the character of the Flash showed up on Arrow, that event kicked off, and it's like, oh, so that's what they were leading to.
Oh,
But
that's
it was like
interesting.
general, like, small stuff on like a news report before, like, oh, it's like, oh, we'll talk about this, and then we talk about something that relates to Arrow, but you
Yeah.
still see that, or it's like in the side scroller or whatever.
Interesting.
In Arrow, it was kind of like overdone just because they announced the Flash TV show was coming, so you know what to look for. But I feel it's something
Yeah.
like that where they just casually mention, oh, there's an election going on, and oh,
Mhm.
this character's leading, instead of devoting half an episode to that. That
Yeah,
happens in the
yeah.
background. And so when Rick and Morty come back to the Citadel, oh, what? There's a Morty leading everything. Well, how could this happen?
Mhm. That's interesting, yeah.
Because then again, the focus doesn't pull away from the main characters. It's actually, oh, this happened. Now, how do our characters deal with that?
Right.
Versus, oh, we know what's happening. This is probably going to come back later, type of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. That brings up a point that hadn't even occurred to me. Like, maybe another one of the reasons why season 3 was so underwhelming to me was just because it's like, if you're going to be a show that presents itself as a smart show, if you're going to be a show that does inject plot, then don't just do that in certain episodes. Like, don't have serious episodes and funny episodes. Like, don't patronize the fans by having a bunch of episodes just be stupid fart jokes and then like jam all the plot into one episode. I maybe that's part of why it just felt sort of disconnected, and I don't know. I don't want to say condescending, but it felt like kind of condescending to the viewer at times.
I also feel
Almost.
like fan theories ruin good television
Yeah.
because you have to subvert what people are thinking is going to happen. I feel
Yeah.
like Rick and Morty would be a show that's fine to allow fan theories, and then you can reward the fans for picking up on stuff
Yeah.
instead of being like, "Ha, you thought this would happen, but here's a whole episode that shows you it didn't happen the way you wanted it to happen."
Hmm.
So it's there, and it's like, yes and no. 'Cause I really hate fan theories. I hate fan fiction. It ruins characters. Hashtag Star Wars. But at the
Yeah.
same time, as someone who knows how stories work, it's fun to see something happen the way you thought it was going to happen.
Hmm.
And so while you don't always have to shut down fan theories, it also helps to say, hey, if you notice this stuff, you know where it's headed, and then you're going to be
Hmm.
rewarded for paying attention. Because that's
Yeah.
another thing where everyone was like, oh, pay attention to Rick and Morty, because there's a lot of subtle stuff you won't notice. But then an intellectual can watch and it's like, well, hey, that news report is obviously leading to this. And oh, yep, callback that happened like 2 episodes ago. That's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Granted, if you're looking for it, you know what's going to happen, and that's just me knowing, oh, something happens. I should pay attention to everything. But if
Hmm.
you're watching the show naturally, I can see why people would be like, oh, I didn't notice that before. And I think you lose that novelty as the series goes on because the audience picks up on what you're doing.
Exactly. Well, and you lose that novelty too when the fan base grows exponentially like that because you don't have the normal like sort of solitary experience as a viewer, as a consumer of that story. It's you're consuming far more fan theory and speculation and like dialogue about the content than the content itself.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat and the guy 13412344143.
Yeah.
Terrible name, by the way. You should change that. He's like, you can't take shows about smart people written by not smart people, and that's like totally accurate. Especially like I
Yeah.
mentioned, the Flash. I think it's the
Hmm.
biggest culprit of that. Is you have a guy calling himself the Thinker. He's supposed to be the smartest person ever. Then on like
Hmm.
Supergirl, they have a character Brainiac, who's supposed to be a ninth level intellect. But then it's like, oh, this no one knows how to write these characters.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to present someone like Rick or the Thinker as the smartest guy in the room, you
Mhm.
need to have smart people writing that character.
Yeah.
But if, like, Bob the plumber can say, oh, why don't they just do this? And the characters don't do that, then it's like, oh, now Bob the plumber is smarter than these characters because you wrote them in a corner, but you're not
Yeah.
smart enough to write them out.
Yeah.
And again, I think they're trying to avoid the whole thing because there's two ways you can write a smart character that I think too many
Mhm.
people do. They either know everything that's going to happen and there's
Mhm.
no way they're going to know it happened, or they're just not a smart character. And I think we need to get out of that writing because it's like, oh, I planned this the entire time. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you didn't. There's like no way you could have done that. And
Yeah.
that's again the TV show having to create drama, but they don't know how to get out
Mhm.
of that. And you see
Yeah.
that on The Flash, where it's like, hey, 2 seasons ago, a character did this and got out of that situation. But now, because the villain has to be smarter than the Flash,
Yeah,
the
because we
Flash,
have to do it for the plot.
yeah, the Flash can't be as smart as he was two
Yeah.
seasons ago
Yeah.
because this villain has to be so much better.
Yeah, you have to like break the characters to fit the plot. That's like the most atrocious, annoying thing in any show or story.
Yep, and that's what happens when you have women writing. So,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I do think men can't write women characters, but
It
men.
doesn't weirdly, yeah, it doesn't really seem that way. I don't know.
It depends because I feel like unless it's a stereotype, there are too, especially in Rick and Morty, there's like too many things. Like, oh, he had a gadget before, use it now. Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh, he's gonna make a new. Oh, wait, that new gadget's no, that's just a coffee machine. Oh well, I
Yeah.
guess they're stuck in this situation, this type of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful, and that's interesting too. Like I've always wanted to write, like I always write, but I still at a quarter of a century old, all I do is write fan fiction, and I don't have anything published yet because I'm a failure and a horrible human being. But like
Well, that's what
that's
happens when you write fan fiction.
it's ruining me as a human. But like, yeah, you have to be careful, and that's something that's really interesting. Like when you write a character that's supposed to be the most brilliant, capable character in the world, like then you're really going to have to masterfully like craft the show around that character to actually make it interesting to challenge that character. And it's like if you're going to be as ambitious as they were with Rick and saying how smart he is, like to create a story that isn't just completely like contradictory and condescending to the audience, and to create a story that doesn't totally break his character all the time just for a gag, and just to like, you know, have an episode play out the way you want to play, you almost would have to build the series up and amplify everything like the way the story is shaped around Heisenberg and Breaking Bad. Like you can't have a character that you write that ambitiously and then have him in this goofy, like episodic, almost sitcom like show that just sort of plods along at the same level all the time.
Yeah, and I think that's why when Evil Morty first shows up, that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense because of Rick's character. He's going to be too arrogant to think a Morty could be that brilliant with all
Yeah.
the whole mind control stuff.
Yeah.
That works.
Mm-hmm.
But a Morty becoming the president, people actually voting for that, it's like, hmm, I'm not assuming that our Rick is the smartest, but there's going
Mm-hmm.
to be other Ricks that'll be like, whoa, now this isn't going to happen. And then you
Yeah.
actually have like smart Mortys with that cop in that episode noticing stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like, I don't think the episode will go down the way it did because a lot of people won't let that happen. And even then, like, oh, we're going to kill all these people and no one's going to notice. And it's like, with infinite numbers of Ricks and infinite
Mm-hmm.
numbers of Mortys, that's a lot of people. And I think they kind of wrote themselves into a corner where it's like, so many of these characters have to know so many obvious things,
Yeah.
or our Rick is the only one smart enough to overcome this, and he's just going to do it in a stupid, easy way because, oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
Because, like, with Pickle Rick, he turns himself into a pickle, and then he can get out of that situation.
Mhm.
And we've seen him do all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So when he's coming up against Evil Morty, the only way they can make Evil Morty so efficient is that he outsmarts our Rick. But if
Yeah.
that happens, you kind of break Rick's character because we've seen him get out of
Mhm.
completely ridiculous situations before. And I guarantee you, he's going to have to rely on Oz Morty to help him get out of that situation.
Yeah.
And that's going to lose a lot of people because we know Rick can do things on his own. Now, it would be
Mhm.
great for character building that they had to rely on each other, because that's not what Evil Morty is going to think about. But
Yeah.
again, that's the only way this can end.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Ricky's going to die to save Morty because he actually cares about him and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate to admit that, but that's true, and that's valid criticism too. And like I guess I have to concede that the whole like Citadel idea, not just that it's a cliche, but it's also problematic to use a word that's going to give everyone like stage 5 colon cancer. Like when you make it so that there is an infinite number of this character, then you cheapen the character, and you cheapen all the ways that that character is supposed to be remarkable. Like, yeah, is our Rick like the smartest Rick? Because not all of them are acting anywhere near as intelligent as Ricks supposedly are, you know, and
Especially when we know he's not the first one to invent that technology, because it turns out,
mhm,
oh, he discovers all of this, and it's like,
yeah,
because time wobbly stuff, and it's like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
And then somehow he's able to kill all the other ones, and it's like, either Rick isn't the smartest, or our Rick is just somehow way better. But again, then you discount his intelligence if there's an
mhm,
infinite number of Ricks. So it's like,
yeah,
I would much rather that say it's a finite number of Ricks. These are
yeah,
the smartest of Ricks, and he rejects that notion because, oh, I thought I was special, but there are
mhm,
hundreds of me that can do this. I'm going to reject this and do my own thing because I don't want to be a part of this type of
mhm.
event. But I digress. Enough about Rick and Morty
Yeah, I'm sorry, I keep bringing
discussing the
it back
shows
to
what they
that.
want us to do. So anyway, all it goes to show, Rick and Morty is still better than every anime out there. So
See, I don't know whether I'm angry or not. Like I'm feeling the rage sweat like building in my armpits, but I don't
no,
know.
it's just normal sweat.
For me, yes. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I really, really do like Rick and Morty, and normally I can't stand any kind of like Western American animation type stuff, but I do really like it. But no, I don't think it's better than all anime. I
No,
still
I
don't.
don't believe that either. I was just saying stuff to rile you up.
Well, it worked, I think. I need deodorant.
Oh, we have 3 people watching now. That's amazing.
It's pretty crazy. It's lit AF, as the kids are saying these days.
Oh, someone says that
It's
new
sexy.
Star Wars trilogy is what's worse. No, I think I'm gonna go on a rant. Disney Star Wars is the superior Star Wars, except Empire. I think I mentioned that before. I think
Yeah.
too many people are injecting an agenda when there is none.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole argument that, oh, women ruined Rick and Morty, it's like, no, that show was already going down here. Women didn't make it worse. Same with Star Wars. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy, Rey, Rose, too many female protagonists, and it's like, well, no, they're just
No, yeah.
characters. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, Vice Admiral Gender Studies, and it's like, hold up, hold up. It's like, you're only calling her that because she has a different colored hair.
Yeah.
So you're basically judging someone's entire character based on the color of the hair.
Yeah.
That's a little bit racist. I'm not going to
Almost.
lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you can't call people racist. Like, well, no, you're not judging her for what she did. You're just judging her hair and how she
Yeah.
looks. And if you look
Yeah.
at what she did, it's like every single general ever in any military movie or
Mhm.
show tells the hotshot, we don't need you, go in a corner. The hotshot goes against the orders and does
Mhm.
exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
It just, in this movie, it turns out that general was actually right and the hotshot was
Yeah.
wrong. But
Yeah.
people don't want to admit, oh, I was rooting for this guy and he was wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like every single movie ever has that trope, and people
Mhm.
don't recognize it. It's like, oh, hair color. Oh, it's the feminist agenda. Oh no,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
men are being told by women what to do. Because I had someone post, oh, this has too much female authority, and it's like, no, it's just authority. Being a woman
yeah,
character makes no difference.
yeah. Yeah, it really is an unfortunate example of the right having definitely having the capacity to be just as childish and reactionary and superficial in their like character analysis and observations as the left. I still don't think it's quite as rampant, but examples like that are, yeah, they
Yeah,
prove that it's definitely possible to
yeah.
be
One
just as
three four one
silly.
2 3 4 1 3 1 says, "quote She is an incompetent leader." No. Here's the thing: if Poe did what she said and did nothing, everyone would have survived, bar none. Every single person survives. But no one wants to admit that because, oh, she didn't tell Poe the plan. Yeah, that's the point. Because you give him any information, he's going to reject that and do his own thing. So, think about what actually happens in the film. When Poe storms on the bridge and sees her fueling up the shuttles, that right there says, huh, he's more interested in keeping the ship alive than everyone else because he thinks they need to fight back because that's what Leia tells him. Hey, you always want to get into a ship and blow stuff up. Now's not the time. So when he commits that mutiny, he actually waits until he tells her his plan first because he thinks, oh, if she listens to me, then I can be the hero. But when she says, no, that's not going to work, we need to get out of here, he says, no, I'm going to hold you hostage and then do my own thing. That's why
Hmm.
everyone dies because he gets back on the communicator, tells Finn and Rose while DJ is listening. Let's not even get started about the fact that he's only there because Poe let them go on a mission that he knew was going to not be what Leia or Holder would want. So you can't say Holder is at fault for having her own plan and not being willing to give information to someone who is known for doing his own thing. Because that's the thing about delegating responsibility. You don't tell every single person what to do, especially someone who previously literally disobeyed orders and got the entire bombing fleet killed. So it's like he would be lucky not to be in a bridge. You actually like think American wars. If you had a fleet of tanks and you were told, hold your position, we don't need you to push forward, but you do it anyway. Oh, you destroy the objective, but you lose all your tanks. You're gonna get kicked out immediately for pulling that type of stunt. But no, he's a white male character, even though he's not technically white. He's the only male that we can relate to, because Poe is close enough to being white. Finn is actually black, so we don't care about that.
Yeah, he's whiter than Finn, so
And I'm not even kidding. I don't want to say people are racist, but if you look at their arguments, it boils down to we don't like Holder because she's a woman, and she's a woman, therefore she had a bad idea. But you replace that character with any military commander in any TV show or movie, the exact same thing happens. So,
yeah. See that like that caliber of analysis makes me actually want to watch that movie again. Like that's a huge compliment to you because I have not really had any desire to watch that again at all.
I don't know. I go on tangents about that because I'm tired of people like, oh, that's why I said watch Solo. If you like classic
Hmm.
Star Wars, you're going to love that.
Yeah,
People don't want to think analytically about films because, oh, it's Star Wars. You don't have to. It's good versus
yeah.
evil. But this film challenges that, and a lot of people don't pick up on that subtlety,
Hmm.
which is ironic because, again, back to noticing stuff, I called the story months ago because, like, huh, Luke Skywalker is here. There has to be a reason for that.
Hmm.
This is going to happen, and then this is going to be the result of the film. I didn't get,
Hmm.
like, the locations and stuff right, and I'm glad to see, like, I had one guy. I told him watch the film again multiple
Yeah.
times, and after his third or fourth time watching it, he started saying, "Oh, I see what you mean now." It's like,
Wow, that's
yeah, you
interesting.
just have to pay attention. Now, I understand people not liking the story or
Mm-hmm.
what the characters do, but in the context of the film, everything is neat and tucked in perfectly, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't like that it does that versus what you wanted, which is fine.
Mm-hmm. I like what Anon had to say in the chat. That's definitely a valid viewpoint.
Oh, dealing with treason,
Yeah.
doing a barrel roll now, summoning a lightsaber.
Yes.
I will actually say this. Palpatine is probably the only bad guy that gets everything that he wanted, and then he
Mm-hmm.
still loses it
Yeah.
because just think about it. He's probably the most successful villain in history because he owned the entire galaxy for like what 20 years. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
anyone ever has actually done that unless it's some random TV show where the bad guys ruled for 1,000 years for some rebel whatever.
Yeah,
No,
that's very interesting.
he freaking started a civil war with the entire galaxy, gave himself power, kept that power, and then he ended that war and stayed in power for 20 more years, which is like,
Mm.
that's absolutely really brilliant. But
That
at the same
that's a good
time,
point.
he has a really nice smile, and you can trust him. But I digress. So, what other shows do you like that are actually good and not anime?
Um, what do I like? It's not anime. Uh, Obviously Breaking Bad, because that's a phenomenal show. Um,
I agree.
what
I've only
else?
seen like 40 episodes, but
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't like I really just watch depressing documentaries and stuff. Like I've watched every documentary on dying children with progeria ever made.
huh.
But when it comes to actual like
Did you see
interesting
13 Reasons Why?
No, I didn't. I
Really?
read the book.
Oh,
Um like that was one of those things cuz I deal with a lot of depression as I, overshare constantly on my channel about like that was one of those things where some people were like, you probably shouldn't watch that. And I read the book and I was like, I mean, yeah, how dumb the story is does want to make me kill myself. But like, I haven't seen the show. The show's probably way better. Like,
oh,
than the
here's the
book.
thing. I have no clue or interest in that show whatsoever, but
Mm-hmm.
I've had friends who you would have thought would never watch that show
Mm.
watch it because Selena Gomez is in it, and then they end up
Oh, is she?
crying.
Oh,
Apparently, I guess I have no clue, but it's
okay.
like, wait, why is this interesting? And
Yeah.
then, like, I saw a clip from like season 2 about a guy getting a mop shoved up his bum because he
Oh
did
my.
something, and everyone was like crying and saying how objectively wrong that was, and the show should never have done it. And then I just watched the clip, and it's like, huh, okay, bullying sucks. I guess this is important to the show, but it's like, oh, I watched Hannibal. This is tame compared to that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um.
yeah, that's the thing. I think I've gotten to the point where mainstream popular stuff is just not good to me.
Mhm.
Hashtag Rick and Morty.
See, that makes me think. Going back to watching darker stuff, and that reminds me, The Fall, which is on Netflix. It's kind of like a crime thriller with Gillian Anderson as the main character. That
Oh,
show's
I love her.
really
She's
good.
also in Hannibal.
Yeah, yeah, she is. Luther is a British, like a really short crime drama that's on Netflix, and that's a phenomenal
Is
show.
that the one with Idris Elba?
Yeah. Oh, he's pretty. Yeah, that's a really good series.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider him pretty. I would call him devilishly handsome.
And/or
I know. I think pretty and devilishly handsome are two very different things.
not always. I mean, they're definitely different, but they can overlap, I think.
And not when it comes to him, because he has that beard and that gruffy voice. I don't consider that
Mm.
pretty. Because
Well,
he's that devilish charm where it's like, yeah, I would sell my soul to you if you told me I could do whatever I wanted.
yeah,
I know he's great. He should
yeah.
not be James Bond, but I would not mind him being 007.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Um, what is there was a show that was on, I think it was BBC, called Whitechapel. Like that's another like a crime thriller, and it was just kind of like
Let me
on an
guess, it's a
indefinite
bunch of white
hiatus.
people like finding crime and all the suspects are black. Hashtag white
No,
people.
no. I think most of the suspects are white. Thank you very much. But
Disappointing.
like,
That's not historically accurate.
but that show is so good. Like it gave me nightmares, but like those are the kinds of shows I like that are so disturbing that they give me nightmares. And that
Uh,
was another really phenomenal like crime horror almost for like thriller series.
oh, did you ever watch that Black Mirror?
Ye- yes.
Is that worth watching? Because I heard it's like the new version of Twilight Zone.
Um
But I feel like, again, smart TV shows written by dumb people just come across as dumb.
yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those smarter shows that might be worth watching.
I think so. I saw the first episode of season 1, and if that was not a wise place for them to start the series, because my god, is that a very bizarre story they tell. But like the most recent season was really, really good. I think it's just like any anthology where there are going to be episodes that are much better than others. Uh, but I do think it was good. Like even months later, I still think back on some of the episodes that were really disturbing. So I would say it's worth a watch. I mean, it's not like the greatest series ever, and it's kind of annoying just because of the constant cliche that technology is evil and it's turning everyone into zombies, and it's that's really irritating and absurd after a while. But um,
But at the same time,
it is
everyone
kind
wants to kill zombies,
of,
so we can push technology so that the
yeah,
Amish can take over the world.
maybe. Um, But I mean, yeah, I would say it's at least the most recent season was very interesting and worth watching. Um, it's not the best show ever, but it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's good. I may have to pick that up. I still need to
Yeah.
watch Westworld season 2.
I'm scared. I don't want to watch it because everybody says it's so bad. I'm
Season
terrified.
2 of Westworld?
Yeah, I've heard people say it's
Really?
awful. Yeah.
How? Because I've
I
not heard anything. I'm just waiting for it to complete that I can just watch it over a weekend.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I haven't watched any of it, so I don't really know what they're referring to. But people are just saying it's just nonsense. People are saying that it's all about family drama. Like I don't know. I haven't watched any of season 2, but that really scares me because season 1 is like that's some of the best television I've ever seen. I thought season 1 of Westworld was amazing.
I feel like half of it was amazing, and the other half was what I assumed season 2 was going to be about.
Yeah.
With the women and her daughter, I'm assuming that's what people don't like.
Well, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but some of my good friends on Twitter are constantly talking about how underwhelming it is. So,
Hmm,
that's all I know.
interesting.
I like anything with Stephen Ogg in it. Stephen Ogg is the guy who was Trevor in GTA 5. Anything with him in it is like a 1-star rating higher for me.
So you're biased, that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying I have impeccable taste in terrifying old men.
That makes sense, actually. Fits your
Yeah.
character quite well.
Yeah.
No, old people are nice ish. They're afraid of me for obvious reasons,
Aw.
but they're fine, I think. What else is out there? That's good. Oh, are you a fan of the Ocean's movies, or probably not?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Right, never mind then. Because everyone's talking about how Ocean's 8 is bad.
Is that the one that's all women?
Yes, but
Okay.
like everyone online considers it, oh, it's just like Ghostbusters. But
Mhm.
then I look at the film critics and they're like, it's basically the first movie. The first movie was good. This one is technically good, but it has women. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, if you want to watch a remake of the first film, but with women,
Mhm.
there's this, and it's competently done.
Yeah.
Whereas Ghostbusters was just all around awful.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with me. I wish it wasn't just an homage to the first film because I think like J.J. Abrams kind of mastered that with The Force Awakens, where it's
Mhm.
like not beat for beat, but like, oh, there's too many obvious connections to that first movie. And so with this one, it's like, I'm okay with that. Only
Yeah.
because I haven't seen the first one, so if this my
Oh, yeah.
introduction, then yeah, sure, it's fine. And then,
Right. Yeah.
but if I go back and watch the first one, and it's like, oh, this is a good remake, but
Mhm.
it means nothing to people.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
it has Anne Hathaway,
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's never a bad thing.
but it also has Rihanna.
That's, I mean, as far as the visual aspect of any film, that's not a bad thing either.
But her acting is,
Well,
mm,
maybe.
women need better movies. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that is one of those things like when you just when you latch onto the success of one movie and just make a movie that's an homage or basically the same thing reinvented with, I don't know, the slightest bit of a variation, that never comes out well. And
oh,
that's what I've heard people say about Deadpool 2, that like they tried too hard to just
really?
emulate what was successful about the first.
I
I haven't
disagree
seen it,
heavily.
but
No, no, it's not like that at all.
really.
With Deadpool 2, there's the obvious sequel itis, where
Mhm.
everyone wants a sequel, so obviously it's going to be a sequel, but
Mhm.
it's based on a comic book.
Oh
So
well, that's true.
a
Yeah.
lot of the people who aren't comic book fans will see the sequel as, oh, it's just the same thing as the first one.
Mhm.
I did not see that at all, and there's a lot of stuff that's way different, but it's still that same tone. Because think
Right.
about every comic book movie. Actually, Pirates of the Caribbean is probably a good example. I would consider
Mhm.
from Pirates 1 to Pirates 2 essentially like Deadpool to Deadpool 2. A lot
Really?
of
Okay.
similar gags, but the story goes completely different. But the characters are the same, but it's just tonally different. I
Okay.
think what people see as comedic sticks like, oh, breaking the fourth wall, oh,
Mhm.
pop culture references, stuff that plagues a lot of comedy movies these days.
Mhm.
Deadpool didn't invent them, but he combined a lot of those tropes well. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay,
effectively.
it's a comic book, so if the comic is like that, the movie has to follow suit. And
Yeah.
I think these films do their best not to be cliche, but
Mhm.
still using these same tropes the way the comic book is done.
Yeah.
And again, meta humor is not new to Deadpool, but
Right.
Deadpool accurately does the sad, sorrowful moments and stuff well, and then, like every Marvel movie, tells a joke. I think there's
Mhm.
only one moment near the end where it's like, okay, this joke is taking way too long. Just wrap it up. People
Mhm.
have stopped laughing the third time you've made this reference. Just
Yeah.
get to the point. And I think that was the only part that wasn't very good. But I think everyone who liked the first one will probably like the second one.
Mhm.
And it's still a good film.
Yeah.
But again, a lot of people don't like these type of movies because, oh, here's a fourth wall joke. Haha, he made
Yeah.
a reference to a movie that we all seen. Oh,
Mhm.
wait, that was a joke, but no one laughed. Who cares about how a draw artist does someone's feet? Because like, that's the thing. It's like, have you ever seen a TV show where you are the only one that laughs, and then you show your friends and no one laughs, and you feel really stupid?
I feel like that's an analogy for the entirety of my life. So yeah, that's happened a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Deadpool 2 in a nutshell,
Mhm.
where your casual people will laugh at a lot of stuff, and then, oh, the people who like these type of comedies will laugh at more things, but someone like me going opening night and they make a joke about the comic book artist who doesn't know how to draw feet properly,
Hmm.
I died laughing,
Yeah.
but no one else understood that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So it's hit and miss. I think
Hmm.
there's more hits than misses.
Yeah. That's good to hear. That's always going to be a paradox. Like if something's based on comics, um, only a fraction, maybe half of the audience is going to know that and be evaluating it on how good of an adaptation of the comics it is, where other people have no idea. They're just evaluating it like standalone movies that are written by a team of people playing off the last one.
Yeah, you see that a lot with stuff that comes out a while ago, but they wait too long to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But everything that has been influenced by that has already
Mm-hmm.
came out and been unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Case in point, Ghost in the Shell, where they invented a lot of that stuff in the anime movie, but then you see it in the Matrix, and then you
Yeah.
see everyone's getting influenced by it. So when they make a live action Ghost in the Shell
It's
movie,
so underwhelming to an audience
yeah,
who didn't read it. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I actually liked that movie, and I felt that the cultural appropriation with Scarlett Johansson's makes sense within the context of the movie. It's not
Hmm.
cultural appropriation, but whitewashing. But
Yeah, it's like she's not Japanese anymore. Like the whole point is that her consciousness has been transferred into like the it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I
well,
thought it was
it's a
really
stupid decision
interesting.
in the movie, but I respect it because hey,
Yeah.
that makes sense, and it's kind of relevant. Because how scary is it to have your consciousness forcefully removed, and you
Yeah.
can't even trust your own body, type
Yeah.
of thing?
And that movie really, really did stay true to the original couple story arcs in Ghost in the Shell, which I think is really cool. But again, most people aren't going to have any idea of that. They're just going to
Yeah,
look at it like a standalone thing that, was written and directed and produced.
yeah, and then it has white women instead of Japanese women.
I
But
just,
again, it still makes sense within the context of the film. So
yeah,
I do wish they had a sequel, but that's probably not going to happen.
I know. I did not care for Scarlett Johansson as
Really?
as the major. Like don't hate her, but I don't. She's one of those people who everybody fawns over, who I don't really get the appeal of. Um,
Oh, interesting.
I don't know, and I was, I was not happy that they cast her. I just didn't. I didn't think that fit at all. But
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
fits perfectly because they want a wooden actress and she fits the bill.
Yeah,
And by that I mean she's actually acting when she's wooden and
yeah,
not that she's bad at it. But when people say, oh, like she's stiff, it's like, yeah, that's the point. And she's good at
right,
doing that
right. That's true.
because she's not supposed to emote. But then
Yeah.
she still does it, and you're like, huh, why did she do that here but not there? And
Mm-hmm.
then that's probably something in general. I think that's the general current of a whole conversation on this stream. I don't think a lot of people question the right things in films, TV shows, and
Mm-hmm.
all that. They ask,
Yeah.
well, why did they do this decision? But they don't actually think about, huh, why did they make this decision? I
Yeah.
think we just stop by asking the question, but not actually going forward and saying, huh, so that's why they did this.
Yeah.
Because spoon fed information.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. I think I don't know. That's why I can't really think of that sounds like I'm just trying to call myself extremely intelligent. But like I
No,
think that's
you're
one of the reasons a lot of shows don't appeal to me, because I don't like that spoon-fed stuff. I can't stand it, if there aren't subtleties, if it doesn't make you think, if you're not left to do some of the work on your own and actually actively like critically think about what you're watching, it doesn't interest me. So, I don't know.
yeah,
Let's
that's kind of why I liked Westworld because I know the writer Jonathan Nolan. He works with his brother Christopher Nolan, and Chris Nolan has a lot of
Yeah.
films that I like. Well,
Yeah.
it's because of Jonathan's writing, but I know how he writes. So
Mhm.
a lot of the twists in the show I called a few episodes in, like,
Mhm.
huh, this is a different time period because these people are acting different ways. And
Yeah.
then once you understand the gist of the show, because I watched that show with no clue what it was about, I just
Hmm.
knew they was based on a movie, never saw the movie.
Yeah.
But after I understood, okay, any character can be a robot, I called who was and who wasn't.
Did
And
you?
I think the only one I was mistaken on, but I eventually made sense of it, was Bernard.
Yeah.
And that was because, I wasn't expecting that twist to happen. But when they showed a flashback of him looking at the photo, and it's
Hmm.
like, oh, that's going to happen in this episode, and it happened in that episode. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
hold it.
Yeah, I think that was one of the few shows that I think, see, I don't remember. I watched it once and I haven't rewatched season 1, but I think I was pretty good at figuring that stuff out too. And I think I actually did guess that Bernard was one. I think, but it was like right before, it was maybe the episode or half an episode before that was revealed. Like not even to where I feel like I can give myself credit for figuring it out because they were building up to it right then. But
Yes. And I think, again, that's smart writing, and you reward the audience for picking up on stuff, because no one's going to think, oh, they never actually showed the photo, but then you have to think, why didn't they show the photo?
mhm.
Because it means something to that character. So why
Yeah.
would that mean something to that character? And why would Anthony Hopkins have got his character not care about that? If they care enough to say, here, look at this, but then you don't
Mhm.
actually see it, that influences how things work. And that also ties into the other character, the man in the black hat. When I started, because I think they showed that Mexican character acting two different ways a couple episodes
Mhm.
apart. And it's like, okay, if the whole thing is on a loop, they could be acting this way for several different time periods.
Yeah.
Oh, this, oh, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I think the acting of that character was done marvelously. And I
Mhm.
think, to my discredit, I got confused with certain actors, so I thought they were the same person. And then it turns out that, oh, I was kind of right about that, because
Yeah.
all white people look the same, so.
Oh. Mhm.
Well, not all of them. You look different than most white people.
I feel like that's an insult. I don't know how, but I just sense that it is.
Take it whatever way you want to.
Okay. Well.
Ooh, the chat is talking about The Walking Dead.
Mhm.
Not a fan.
I Yeah, I don't know. I think the score in it is the only thing that makes it, that's the only thing that like pulls me in and makes it gripping. Like when I would be in the room and it would be on, I would watch it, but it's not something I would seek out. And I just think I enjoyed it before I started actually like watching stuff online about all of the plot holes. And when they were made explicitly clear to me, then like from then on I couldn't respect the show, and
I think it's just it's AMC's version of what's it called, Game of Thrones, because that's
yeah.
their big thing. But when you think about it, it's like a really bad discount Game of Thrones.
It really is. It's like the great value version of Game of Thrones.
And what sucks is that Game of Thrones has been influenced by The Walking Dead. So when, like, initially White Walkers are cool, scary, and intimidating,
Hmm.
and then Jon Snow hides under the dumpster and survives, it's like, oh, it's no, this is The Walking Dead now. What
Yeah.
happened? You watched
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm a season and a half behind, actually.
Oh, well, sorry
Um,
about the spoiler.
no, that's okay. That's not a big deal. Like I've heard a ton of stuff, just you can't avoid spoilers.
Well, if you're
When
a
something's
season and a
that
half
big.
behind, obviously.
Well, yeah, but yeah, we just never finished watching it for some reason. He doesn't know I'm glaring at him.
Well,
He's
that's
the
because
one
he's
who,
not paying attention.
yeah.
Hi, fiance.
He's the, don't flip me off. I hate you.
Hey, don't say that. You love him indefinitely.
No, I don't. He's the one who super legally obtains shows that we watch and has not gotten the rest of Game of Thrones. We just haven't gotten around to it.
I feel like you can just go to like Costco and buy like a big pack of cows, and they'll give you like a 30-day trial for HBO Go or whatever.
Yeah.
Granted, you probably will take longer than 30 days to watch Game of Thrones because those episodes are longer and longer each time. Like the next episode's what's a series finale, 7 episodes, and I think an hour and a half to 2 hours each.
That's insane, yeah.
And at which point I just say, can you not just make them 10 episodes and just 1 hour each?
Yeah.
Instead of making a movie per episode. But that budget, though.
Yeah.
I feel like Hannibal would have been great if it was on HBO, but it was on NBC and they killed it too early.
Yeah. Now, why? I keep forgetting. I know I've asked people this before, but why was Hannibal canceled? What happened?
People didn't watch it.
And it's everybody says it's so good.
It got to the point because it's on network television that too many stations complained about the violence, and so they moved it to 10 o'clock to avoid those issues. But that's like I think it was like a Friday at 10, I think.
The death slot, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think at one point it was Sunday night, but no one would watch it. Because it started at prime time, but it's too violent. And it's like, this should have been on HBO to start with.
Yeah.
Because not every episode is super violent, but you can tell that, they not censored, but they toned down the violence to go where it needed to go on that network, and it still was great. But they got away with a lot of stuff that should never be on network television.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, because I was watching one episode and with my friend the other day, and it's like a lot of partial nudity, but the camera's like far back and it's darkened and the
that's true. Yeah,
blurred a little bit of stuff. It's like, if this was on HBO and they were able to do it naturally, because it's not sexual, just let it happen, it's virtually the same thing. And I'm still perplexed as to why this episode ever got on network television with that much partial nudity.
Yeah.
It's like, I can see why it got canceled because violence, and you can only like show someone getting gutted so many times. And again, it's Hannibal to cannibal, so the implication is that whatever foods you see on the show is eating someone.
Yeah.
So, and I think it got banned in Utah because of the Mormons.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't even watch it, but they got a station to not air the show just because of how violent it was.
Wow.
And again, put it on HBO. They can, because it's ultimately TV-14. I feel like TV-14 is if he added swear words, it's an R-rated movie. Violence is roughly the same.
Yeah.
Give it that R rating on a network that doesn't care, and then let it fly. Because I don't even think they swore at all on the show. Granted, they don't even need to swear because the violence was so heavy that they can't. Because you add swearing on top of all that violence, of course, a network's not going to play it. But
yeah, that's so bizarre too. Like how formulaic it is. You know what ratings things get. It's really strange to me. You know.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. NBC didn't like smoking, and I don't think they smoked on the show. But I know, like Constantine, he was never allowed to smoke on primetime television while that show was on NBC.
That's so crazy.
And they got around it because it's tobacco products; just don't want it depicted. What they would do would show him light it, and then
they would imply it kind of.
And then they would always cut away if he was ever doing it. And then, like, they would show him finishing up and tossing it away, but they never actually show him using it. And it's like,
wow.
Well, smoking is like one of the biggest characteristics of his character.
Yeah.
And you take away smoking, it kind of hurts the character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the show's about demons and whatnot. So smoking is like his. It's kind of like alcohol and drinking, where it's like, I do this addictive thing to fill that hole in my soul for what I did wrong.
Yeah.
But TV ratings are fun.
Yeah, the fact that it's about freaking demons is okay, but smoking is bad.
Yep. Although I will say, Hannibal season 3 had some of the best filmed sexual scenes.
Really?
I'm not talking about like showing the sex. It's just very artistic. And, you know, as someone who probably would not care for that sort of stuff, the way they actually handled that was done like really, really well. And it gets you to like looking forward to like how they would do that next, because it's all
That's
about the art,
interesting.
lots of kaleidoscopes and like different animations. It's like, oh, this is obviously what they're implying.
Yeah.
It's done in such a way where it's like they don't have to show a lot of it, but
Mm-hmm.
how they cut and edit certain things is like, this is really good television. It's way too good for
Interesting. Yeah.
NBC.
Yeah.
And then it gets canceled right when it was getting good, because season 3 was when they finally got the rights to do the movies. So they did, I think, the last half of, actually, a lot of it was one of the Hannah movies, forgot what it's called, but season 3 dealt with the Red Dragon series. And that,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
again, I liked it more than the movie. Because I think they had two, Manhunter, that was the other one. They had 2 of those movies, one with Anthony Hopkins in like 2006, and then
Yeah.
the older one like 20 years before that. As much as I like Anthony Hopkins, I still like Mads Mikkelsen
That's how
better.
much better he is. Yeah.
And the fact that, because I would obviously say Anthony Hopkins overall is way better actor than Mads, just because experience and what he was able to do. But you have Mads playing Hannibal for 3 years, he's going to be better than Anthony
Yeah.
Hopkins will be
Yeah.
doing a movie.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Constantine is on CW now. He's good.
Oh yeah.
I'm reading the chat.
Good night, Vargas. I always struggle with all these poor people's names.
I
Sleep
think his name is Virgin Arson.
well.
Man. I'm just gonna call him Virgin.
That's fine. I always just kind of, I guess, I wing it.
Cut to intermission card that reads, "They do sex." Cut back to the characters putting the clothes back on.
I like that a lot. I like that.
Well, that'll definitely keep the show from getting canceled, I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
No, canceled TV shows are great. R.I.P. Firefly.
Yeah, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Oh, they canceled Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was upset for about 2 days, and then they put it on a different network.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Lucifer also got canceled and put on a different network.
But really? Yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah, somehow Gotham is still a show. And
yeah, that's very strange.
I hate that so much.
Really?
As a DC fan, I think it's worse than Batman versus Superman.
Really?
Yes. Oh, hey, fiance.
Hi, okay, bye. He made a strange face.
Oh.
That's all you get. I'm sorry.
Was he trying to look like you?
That's...
Sorry, that was rude. I apologize.
Not on my channel.
I would have posted that in chat regardless. It's all good.
Yeah. That's interesting, because I haven't watched much of Gotham. I think I would like it just because it's so dark, but...
It's retarded.
Really? Is it really?
Here's the thing. Like, someone put it best when they said they tried to combine every single version of Batman, but then the show isn't about Batman. So you have, like, the 1960s Adam West tone, and then the violence of the 89 Batman.
Yeah.
Then the dialogue of Batman versus Superman. But the show thinks it's a Christopher Nolan Batman.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
So it's totally inconsistent, but it's inconsistently consistent in that it knows when to change the tone of the show.
Yeah.
But then you have characters like Pseudo Joker, who they think is Jack Nicholson, but with the voice of Heath Ledger, but the actions of Cesar Romero.
Yeah.
And it's like, it works. I hate it, but it works. Hi, fiance.
Nemo says hi again. Okay, he made the face again. That's all.
Rip.
Yeah.
Oh well. So now that we talked about all of my shows, let's talk about anime for the last half hour.
Yay! Who's your favorite Boku no Hero Academia stop waving character?
Yeah, any of the females.
Really?
Only because I hate Ida. I think that's his name. Who's the guy
No!
with who's the
Why?
guy that throws all the balls, right?
Oh no, that's
No, I forget.
Mineta.
Well, who?
That's Mineta or
Yeah, I freaking
Mineta,
hate that
whatever.
guy. My
I
roommate
know.
loves him. No, I hate that guy with the passion of 1,000 light bulbs.
That's
Because
yeah.
honestly, he would be the only guy that could take down every villain, but he's the worst.
Yeah, I just
'Cause
think
that-
he's so stupid.
No, he's comic relief, but I keep thinking about that sequence in The Incredibles where
Mhm.
Mr. Incredible is trying to escape the computer room and then it shoots all the balloons at him and they expand.
That's right.
That's his character, and it's like, oh, he can take down Mr. Incredible. He could take down virtually every villain
That is
on
true.
this show.
Yeah.
But he's retarded and he will never do that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, someone who has such a useful power
Mhm.
in the hands of a child.
Yeah.
Why? Because
Yeah.
it's like, except for the guy that can warp, any villain he can take out.
That
So-
is yeah.
So yeah, and that just
Mhm.
pisses me off. His voice is annoying. His
I
actions
know.
are annoying.
I
He
know.
bleeds all the time, and it's like, kill him.
I
Kill
know.
him now.
Yeah, I'm really bitter about the fact that he gets included on all of the merchandise and all the promotional crap when there are other characters who are much more interesting as far as their actual personalities that aren't included. Like he's not worthy. It's annoying.
He's
very
not
bitter
worthy
about
of the show.
No,
He's
he's
overpowered but retarded.
that. Yes, this is true. Yes.
And then
And it-
Bakugo, don't even get me started on him.
No, he's
I- Because how far behind? You said you were 2 episodes behind.
yeah.
So what
two
was the
or
last
three.
episode that you've seen? Like 48?
Ah,
What happens?
maybe. I'm
What do
trying
you?
to think because I know more than my fiance knows, so I don't.
You can spoil it for him. He
Well, I
doesn't
see.
matter.
Well, I mean, they just got him back. Like they literally just did.
Okay.
And
So they're still at the hospital, right?
yeah.
Okay. The next episode, or next 2 episodes, are great. I think you're 3 behind because they just
Mhm.
released a new one a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I don't like him,
I can tell. I know.
but he's interesting. Wait. They're still at the hospital, but they got him back, or
He-
he's still.
They got him back. Yeah.
Oh, so you're only 1 episode behind then.
Am I? Is that all the further behind I am? I don't know.
Oh, did you watch the All Might fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you're only 1 episode behind then.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
I
can
didn't
go
realize
spoilers. Because they captured All for One, correct?
that. Yeah. Yeah.
I like All for One, even though he's discount Darth Vader with a bunch of powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Bakugo, he's one of those characters I thought he was going to go evil, and I still think he will, just not for the reasons that everyone else thinks he is.
Really? That's interesting.
Yes, because I don't see him becoming like Endeavor to Midoriya. I don't see that happening. He's either going to become a villain because he refuses to be second and he has to get into a fight, or they do the cliche, let's fight, and then Ida wins, or not Ida, whatever, Midoriya wins, and then somehow he gets respect for that character. But I don't see that happening.
I don't
yet.
know. Yeah, I honestly don't know where they're going to go with his character. Like one of the reasons I like it so much, the series, is because I feel like it's almost like a passive aggressive response to Naruto. It's like some of the same tropes and some of the same character dynamics, and it's the same like coming of age like mega power type anime. But it's like really condescendingly saying, no. You tried really hard to write a story, but this is how you correctly execute these things. Like, that's one of the things I like about it so much. It takes all of the things that were done so horribly awry in Naruto as far as like character development and just everything about the plot, and it's kind of the same principles, but done in a way that's actually interesting, done in a way that keeps the characters consistent, done in a way that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And
is that just the source material, or is that the anime? Because I don't know the manga like my roommate does, so I can't give a reference from that.
yeah, I mean, I think the manga and the anime are very similar. I think they're doing a pretty good job of including only things that happened in the manga, and I
Not
think
a
they're
bunch of
doing
extra stuff then.
right. Yeah, I don't think there's any filler.
Because I have the feeling that recently some anime has become Americanized in terms of how
Yeah.
they are done. Because I don't know
Mhm.
how big the audience, but I'm assuming the American audience is definitely bigger than a lot of the European, Asian countries.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because there are a lot of weebs in America.
There are. It's pretty gross. There are a lot of them.
See, that's why I was so upset when Donald Trump didn't run on the campaign to ban anime. I feel like if he had done that,
Yeah.
Hillary would not have stood a chance. And then on
Yeah.
top of it, they would have been unity and bringing people together.
Yeah,
And then they
maybe.
could just build a wall around anime and just keep
Yeah.
it trapped inside.
Yes. Yeah. For every 3 weebs they deport, they'll bring in one illegal from like Guatemala. That would probably work.
I'm actually okay with that. We'll lower the population and then we'll bring over the better people to replace
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So I would be sorry, but you would be one of those people that would have to go.
This is true. Yeah,
Well,
I'd
I
be
will
on it.
gladly take a Guatemalan female over you any day.
Thank you.
Just
I
don't
appreciate
separate the
that.
child or anything, because that's bad.
Yeah.
Also, I saw your video about it the other day. Was that
Mhm.
today or yesterday?
Yeah, I see. I was up till like 5 in the morning.
I noticed.
Uh, you
So
probably
technically
watched it
today?
today. Yeah, technically it went up today. I filmed it like last night, and then I just wasn't tired and I couldn't sleep, so I just put it up last night. Yeah.
No, we don't want waifus to be real. Anon, you are wrong and mistaken.
Oh.
Shoo.
Actually, yeah, the as far as the source material goes, one of the interesting things is like, I mean, there are always differences between how like a manga is written, how it's translated, and then how they adapt it into the anime. You know, there are always going to be differences, and like each like successive iteration is slightly different. And I think in like the Japanese, the original version, Bakugo's character is a little bit different. Like, I don't think they're really representing him accurately. And they definitely aren't in the anime. Like, it seems like in the manga, there's a lot more. I mean, he cares about Midoriya a lot more in the anime, where they just kind of like interpret that all and translate it over as rage and sort of the cliche rivalry, where he.
Oh, you have to have a antagonist early on until the villains show up.
I know, but like,
because that relationship brings up a lot of the emotional heart of him wanting to be a superhero when he's quirkless. Because, there's a bully and he can't defend himself. And then this bully has so much more power than he does. And you feel sorry for him when he gets that test back and he's just broken.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is be like a hero. But my roommate pointing out that Bakugo respects All Might in that same way, which creates an interesting dynamic. But
yeah. And he's interesting too because he's so different from the cliche, like, sort of rival / antagonist in most like shonen anime, because he's really intelligent. He stands by his principles, and I mean, even just in the very short amount of time when, you know, the short amount of time that the series is covered, he really has had a lot of character development as far as just his temper, his loyalty, his willingness to cooperate with the other characters. And yeah, it is subtle, but I think I don't know. I find it to be interesting because it's a big departure from how most characters in that stereotypical like rival role tend to be.
Well, especially compare that character to, let's say, an American comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And I think American comics do that very, very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Batman v Superman. Where it's like every time there's a rivalry between two heroes, they fight for contrived reasons. And
Mm-hmm.
then, oh, wait, we need to team him up to defeat Lex Luthor type of
Yeah.
stuff. And then it's not ever resolved. In this
Yeah.
show, it's like, we're going to do this because it's the right thing to do, but I still hate you, at least in
Mm-hmm.
the anime. Not sure about the manga.
Yeah.
But I think that's very telling of his both characters, like when they have to rescue him, where he says, I'm going to be a part of this, but I can't be the one that reaches out to him because
Yeah.
he's just going to reject that. You
Yeah.
have to. And that strengthens that other character as well, because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense, because
Mm-hmm.
he's learning that, okay, I'm analyzing this person here. I'm delegating responsibility, and he's going to learn something when he finds out, oh, Abakiko was saved, at least he was saved because of Midoriya, but Midoriya could not actually be the one that reaches
Mm-hmm.
out to him.
Yeah.
So it's he's like, oh, I could have died because my pride type of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and just those like intricacies between the different characters are really cool. Like it seems like something so simple, but I don't think I've ever seen a series before where you take a group of kids, you know, and they all grow up together and they all get stronger together and progressively fight scarier and scarier bad guys and all this stuff together. I've never seen one where like their relationships and the friendships and the friend groups kind of like they sort of build and shift over time in like an organic way like kids really do growing up. I've never seen that, you know, and maybe it's just because I don't watch a lot of anime, but I just don't think I've seen that before. You know, like yeah, the one who actually reached out to Bakugo, Kirishima, like the fact that he's sort of come into the forefront is almost one of the main characters, and their you know their personalities would sort of be able to coexist, and the author actually starts grouping characters together and you know changing um, the dynamics in the friend groups based on how they probably would organically develop is fascinating. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things that like it's something I don't understand why it's so overlooked when normally doing like the I don't know like the coming of age sort of anime. Like I don't
I
understand why
think
that genre
a
takes that
lot
for
of that has
granted.
to be because this show doesn't care if you remember a character or not. He's still developing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in like especially like live action American shows, if you
Mm-hmm.
forget about a character, they're just written off the show because oh, I guess they don't connect with this guy. It's like, well, no, you just didn't give him anything to do. That's why no one cares about it.
Yeah.
Whereas this show made me care about that guy, even though I had forgotten he existed.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, there's like 30 people in that class, and I
Yeah. Oh my
especially
god.
like
Yeah.
I have no clue of any of the Class B students until like I have
Yeah.
to ask my roommate, okay, who's this guy? It's like, oh yeah, he's the guy that had the whatever tail. And it's like, oh, well, he sucks, but oh, I guess he's still here.
Yeah.
Whereas in like an American TV show, like again, I'm going to go back to comic books. So it's just like you can have a really good actor, a really good
Mm-hmm.
character, but then you have writers who have no clue how to write these characters.
Yeah.
So, oh, there's a fight. He gets knocked out in 2 seconds, even though, hey, that character's a lot stronger than you think he is. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way he's going to be out of that fight in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And, like, even the show brought it up. It's like, you guys even forgot where I was the last half hour because he got knocked out of the fight, and then they all go
Yeah.
back home, which is also a meta joke because that actually happened in a previous season where a character got knocked out, and then we have no clue what happened to him. He just shows
Wow.
back up, and then everyone tweeted the director, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we dropped the ball. We forgot all about it."
That's insane.
Granted, it's because oh the villain and the hero they were having an emotional moment, but it's like don't forget your side characters. In this
Yeah.
show, it's like, oh, hey, you forgot about this guy, but he's still going to do something that's actually important. That's
Yeah.
going to change the dynamic of the hero
Yeah.
versus, oh, we forgot what to do with these guys, so they're written out of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's refreshing and I really like that.
Yeah, but he still needs to die, so.
No.
I don't know why you were so obsessed with him.
I don't know either. I just, like, I
And
have
what's
a.
still with your tweet about stuffing him up your rectum? Like,
Hey,
what
no,
is
we're not that. No, okay, okay. Twitter. We don't talk about what happens on Twitter on YouTube. YouTube is like a step closer to real life. I didn't.
Right.
We're pretending I never tweeted that.
No, it's been screenshot, so that's
Oh,
gonna come back
damn
to
it.
bite you.
Yeah, I can't wait till I'm at an interview, for like a really high profile job somewhere, and they're like, "So, um, what was this again? What
Keychains?
did you mean by that? Did you get that taken care of?" But
Probably not now, knowing you.
yeah, yeah, but like
No.
I have a master list of like all of my favorite characters, and I have tried so hard to make sense of it, and it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. There's no consistency whatsoever. Like there's no specific personality type. Um, there really isn't that much of a common thread that I can identify among all of the characters that are my favorites. Like I like Ida. Ida's he's the class rep. He's the like engine
Oh yeah, I
work
like
guy.
him.
I love Ida and I love Bakugo, and they have nothing in common. Like, why are they my favorite characters? I don't know. I have no idea why.
Because they have strong moral character. They stick to the guns, figuratively.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's true, but yeah.
I
I want to look
liked
into
Ida
that
up
more.
until that Stain arc. And then I lost respect for him. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's out of character, but it's family, that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
I got that respect back within the previous arc, where he actually, learns from his mistakes. And it's like, oh, I guess I can't stop these people, but I'm going to make sure they do this the right way.
Yeah.
So that's him actually being a hero. I didn't actually like Stain because I felt that if you're going to complain about heroes accepting money,
Mm-hmm.
I guess be a villain. But that whole
Yeah.
the notion of, oh, we're going to be evil so that the good guys can be good is screams bad writing to me,
Yeah.
because it's like, well, if you guys weren't evil, they wouldn't get paid. So if you
Yeah.
really want to hurt them, stop breaking the law.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I mean, even the what's his name, the hand guy, Shigaraki, like he articulates his motives and his philosophy on why he hates heroes so much better. Like
And knowing his backstory makes so much more sense now as well.
yeah, yeah, and like Stain, even though he's supposed to be like the big bad guy right now, besides All for One, it's like it's implied that he has a sort of a similar philosophy, but I feel like that must be expanded upon a lot more in the manga because it just doesn't feel like that's explained adequately. Like it feels like there is a lot missing, and it's kind of riding on the whole cliche like this guy has strong principles and reasons for doing this, but we
Those
haven't
principles are
really. Yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
Because, again, I feel like, oh, that's nothing. I actually like the show despite being an anime because they have a power set that, like, is very original to me. Because,
Mm-hmm.
with superheroes, it's like everyone has super strength or super speed or whatever variations. This
Yeah.
show has the most asinine powers,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it works. Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, that whatever character with the stupid bubble sticky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking hate that guy, but it's like, huh, that's actually an interesting power.
Yeah.
That he causes him physical harm gives some sort of weight to his decisions,
Mm-hmm.
but then he's a moron.
Yeah.
But like some of the other powers, like the headphone jack girl, stuff is interesting.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is
like,
interesting.
oh, she can create like any sort of weapon or technology
Mm-hmm.
from her body. That's kind of useful. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's consistent in that, hey, these are teenagers, so she's not going to be able to pull a tank out of her butt, even though that's going to happen at some point.
Hopefully. I mean, no, that was more like a Twitter comment. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it is interesting in that way. But that's one of those things like I don't know if you could do things that are as charming and weird and outlandish as their quirks. Like I
That's
don't
the thing,
know
it's
if
work, and they actually make it work.
that's true, yeah. And like I don't know if like anime, you can do anything you want. You can take liberties and make the most bizarre, outlandish stories you want, and people will accept it in that format.
That's
But
because
like,
people are dumb and continue.
well, like in, I don't know, like I don't know if in Western comic books or I don't know if any kind of like Western writing or audience would accept that from any source other than anime. You know, I don't know if something that odd, you know, is having like earphone jacks. Like I don't know if a Western audience would be receptive to things as unique as the powers that they have in this series. Like I think the only way the story could be delivered and be successful is, you know, as a manga, as an anime.
I think the
Almost.
closest you will get is The Incredibles.
That yeah, probably,
Because like,
yeah.
even though the main family is literally the Fantastic Four, the second film introduces a new cast of characters who have
Mhm.
like really interesting powers. Like, have you seen that film, right?
Not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Ah, dang it. But no, there's like that show, that movie actually has
Mhm.
powers, and it's like, okay, some of them are like old powers that we've seen before, but it's
Mhm.
done in a very anime style. It's like, oh, it's completely different use of that same power. That would be
Mhm.
something that an anime character would do.
Yeah, that's
Because you
very
see,
cool.
like Mr. Fantastic or Elastigirl, the people that stretch, there's like four
Mhm.
or five characters in the comics that can do that.
Yeah.
In recent comics, they've gotten better, but the film actually gives you like a really cool look at, if you can stretch your body, you can do amazing things, and The
Mhm.
Incredibles actually does that. And
Yeah.
then you look at, My Hero Academia, it's like, oh, they have like a standard, oh, we need to get across this like chasm during like the whole high school Olympics or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how each character gets across that obstacle is like really interesting, even
It
though it's
yeah.
like half the time it's like a 2 second clip of them getting across. It's like, huh,
Yeah.
that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it is. Mhm.
Yeah, but we do need to talk about my least favorite character again, though. Freaking balls. Like, that's his power.
I know.
And again, thanks to The Incredibles, I realize how useful that can be.
Right, yeah.
And then he just sucks so much.
I know.
Why?
I hate him so much. Oh my god. I despise him.
No,
I,
like, Stain should have killed him, but
yeah.
by licking his blood, his mouth gets trapped shut, and he can never do that again.
Yeah.
That would be the only redemption I could see for that character.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
he's totally gonna die. I
Hmm.
hope.
I know. I wouldn't care at all. I don't feel bad for him. He's annoying. He's just an infuriating character. And like, I have a soft spot for Kaminari. He's the one who's just kind of like a doofy kid with like the Pikachu powers, essentially.
No,
Um,
he's dead.
I love him.
No,
I love
he's
him.
gonna die. He's useless.
I think he is more charming as far as his personality, his just like visual character design, his power. I think he, because he's one of my favorites and because I said so and I'm always right. I think he should be in at least the main promotional material. He should at least be relevant enough and in that group enough to be on posters, on t-shirts, on things like that. I don't want freaking sticky balls on a poster in my room. It's bullshit. I don't want it. It's absurd.
No, the
Why? Get him
kids
out of
love
here.
him for some
No.
reason.
No. The children are wrong and they need to all
Oh,
be
children are
aborted.
always wrong, and they should always be exterminated when the time
Thank
is
you.
necessary.
Correct.
Hashtag Y2K. But
Yes.
no, I think that Pikachu guy, he could be useful when paired with the girl that makes technology or whatever. Because I can
Mhm.
see, her creating gadgets that require an electric boost, and he's useful to that.
Yeah.
Or let's say Sticky Guy like traps everyone and then he shocks them and knocks them out.
Yeah.
And then they both die in a nuclear explosion.
Yeah.
And then you have who's the main character? I forget his name. Midoriya.
Midoriya. Yeah.
I want to like him, and I think he's obviously the best character because the show is about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there are certain things that he could do that he doesn't because he wants to be All Might and he just doesn't do what All Might does.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he's gotten to the point where he's damaged his body too much, so
Yeah.
that the consequences for the show is no longer going to be on him because they've essentially limited that he can take it, and that's when other characters are going to start dying because of his decisions.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, and they've really pushed that theme so far. You know, a lot of times his completely noble and selfless intentions have gotten people seriously hurt, and he can't like stand by and let somebody get hurt, and his impulse to do what, you know, in your simplest terms and, you know, from the first look at things would be the moral thing to do. His inability to not do that is going to get people killed eventually. And I do like that he's so selfless, you know, beyond having any common sense, that he is seriously permanently damaging his body as the series goes along. Like he's not even a legal adult yet, and already he has had more like tangible strife than
Every other character.
Well, and like, I don't know, I think that's one of the reasons why this is so much better than the formulaic stereotypical anime where, like, I don't know, like Naruto or Luffy or Goku, like they're just so resilient that, you know, they're never
like,
going to get killed. And he's fallible, even though he has like the strongest power possible, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's a very, like, I like what you said, because comparing him to like Goku, Goku gets injured, but he comes back stronger.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Love Dragon Ball Z, but
he gets injured, he's not going to come back stronger. Yes, his power may grow, but his physical body is getting worse and worse.
Yeah,
to the point where it's like, oh, he could be the strongest one ever, but his physical body is so weakened that he can't actually act when he needs to because he has not learned when to not act.
Yeah,
and I think that's very different than how we typically see our superheroes, where, oh, they get injured but they recover. In this case, no, he's going to have to make a decision to let people die so that he can actually save more people later.
Yeah, and you know it's going to kill him to make that decision, and I think that's really interesting. I just think,
however, when it comes to sticky balls, he should make that decision every time.
Just let him die. It's okay.
Yes, he can like suffocate on his own balls.
Yeah, I'm to the point in this series, with the sticky balls aside, all of the other characters, like, I try so hard not to do this. I'm like, you're a quarter of a century old, you're a grown woman, you pay your own taxes, you have your own pets, you know, you have car insurance.
You have cats, those aren't pets, those are obligations.
Whatever. But like, I'm too old to be getting this emotionally invested in characters. I am. But I'm to the point now where, like, if my fiance's like, do you want to watch more BNHA today? I'm like, I don't know if I can. Like, some days I need a break because I care about the characters so deeply. They're all so charming and unique and interesting, and they feel so much like goofy, real kids that I freaking love them to death, and I'm so terrified. Like, I know when the first one, besides Mineta, of course, when the first one dies, it's going to kill me. Like,
has anyone died yet?
I don't think so. Like,
no, I don't think so.
I mean, I think I'm going to be worse than, like, when I was a goofy teenager and people died in, like, Naruto and stuff like that. It hasn't gotten better. I haven't gotten more well-adjusted mentally and emotionally. I'm not more grounded in reality. It's going to wreck me even harder now as a grown adult when these characters die, because I love them so much. It's like
the Red Wedding all over again.
Yeah, except, like, the Red Wedding happened, and I looked over at my fiance like an episode later, and I was like, when is the wedding going to happen? Like, I forgot. I mean,
The red wedding hit me only because of the baby stabbing. If it
Yeah, it
wasn't
was a
for that,
little
I would not have
much.
cared because I stopped liking Rob the moment he married her. So
I
it's
know,
like,
yeah.
and I knew that was going to happen regardless. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I didn't really feel bad for Rob,
because he was a moron.
yeah, like that was I don't know, it was very predictable and
I think
you
that's
should have known better.
the showrunners not understanding why that's important. So they gave him a love interest, and then they gave her a baby, and it's like,
Mhm.
yes, we know the girl is going to die. That's been a cliche in every American thing ever.
Mhm.
Hashtag women in refrigerators, which unironically I think is a good trope, but at the same time it's a lousy one. Which I'm glad Midoriya's mother hasn't gotten killed yet, because that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Give it 2 seasons
Yeah,
and a
seriously.
movie. Two
Yeah.
seasons and a movie, she's gone.
Yeah.
And then let's see who else needs to die. I feel like All Might obviously will pass away at some
You
point.
will. They're setting it up. I have so many like douchey friends who I've known since like middle school who my whole life have been following me around like your favorite character is going to die, right? And like I know they're right this time, but I'm like shut up. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. But like it just feels like so much of the story is setting up All Might finally dying that yeah, I feel like it almost has to happen. Like
Well,
for
he almost did in the last episode,
yeah.
but I feel like that was the most Americanized episode. I guess that's why I liked it so much.
Mhm.
Because granted, he's the American character, never gives up, gives that fist pump in the air, hashtag Black Power type thing.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. I think at the end of the most recent episode,
Mhm.
spoiler alert, they
That's okay.
basically
Yeah.
indicate like, oh, you missed out on your opportunity to die because that would have forced Midoriya to become a leader, and
Yeah.
that's essentially that was All for One talking about Stain, and he basically says next time it's you, not Stain. What a hand guy, I forgot his name. I don't.
Shigaraki.
Yeah, he's referring to him, so it's like okay, since All for One is gone, now he's taking his rightful place as
Yeah.
the main villain of the series, even though we knew he was, but we
Mhm.
don't have that. Oh, what is this? Someone puppet mastering in the shadows? He's out
Right.
of the way. All Might's out of the way. Now we can focus on the new characters,
Yeah.
which I hate to do this. Is exactly what the Last Jedi did with Kylo Ren and Snoke,
Ugh. That's kind of true.
but people don't want to see that because
Yeah.
Snoke has to be the bad guy because I know All for One, he isn't the main villain of the show.
Right.
All Might's not the hero of the show. It's about the new, younger characters,
Mhm.
and in order to do that, you have to remove the, I
The
guess,
ones
legacy.
overshadowing them. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why Luke had to go away because he was going to overshadow Rey. The issue is that they didn't give Rey as much character development as they did Kylo Ren. So
Right.
everyone will accept Kylo Ren as the leader, but they won't accept Rey. This show does it right, even though I still think All Might has to die. But we
Mhm.
now understand, okay, both of these characters will take over, and we don't have to rely on All Might anymore, or All for One anymore.
And we
They've
can't.
Yeah, you can't, and that
Yeah.
forces them to be better characters.
And
Which
that
I
makes the
wish,
stakes higher because All Might could defeat anybody and save anybody.
but now he can't. So you have
Exactly.
to
That's the
rely.
only way to. Yeah.
But again, he's still alive, so obviously, a couple of times, someone's going to try to kill him, Midoriya's going to save him, and then they're going to catch that on TV. Oh, hey, who look, he's the new Alpha One. Not one
Yeah.
for all. And then
Yeah.
the next time that happens, All Might's going to die, and that's going to cause the public to panic because, oh, we thought we can trust this new kid, but he failed.
Yeah.
And then Bakugu's going to come up and be like, ha, you can rely on me. And then he's going to die. And then
Don't start
freaking.
like that.
Now, there's only two ways this ends. He's going to respect Midoriya as the champion of peace or whatever,
Mhm.
or he's going to die a bitter man
He,
or a
that's
bitter
possible.
teenager.
Yeah. Yeah.
He will die a virgin.
No, he won't. That's not true.
No, there's
Um,
no way he can procreate because he's just gonna burn.
well, I mean, I hope he doesn't, because just the him as a father would be a disaster. You know,
Endeavor
humanity would be.
2.0.
Oh God, yeah. But I'm interested in Bakugo's trajectory because I genuinely don't know where they're going to go with him. Because this series, everything about this series strikes me as the guy writing it. It's almost a love letter, yet sort of a condescending correction to all of the cliches that have been done wrong in the past in like mega power animes like this, where the main character just gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and they have a very consistent trajectory, and you know that they're eventually going to win at the end, and the bad guys conveniently only get stronger, successively in the order that like the main character can defeat. Because the author seems to be sort of like snubbing all of those cliches that you always expect.
Mhm.
Because of that, like everything that I can draw on from the past to try and predict what Bakugo is going to be like, I have no idea, because he's going to correct one of those cliches that ran a character's writing or development into the ground. So I don't know. I don't know what
Well, for
I don't
me,
know what's
I
going to happen
think
with him.
the novelty of this show is that it's unironically like Pokemon, where the main character doesn't always win. Because
Right.
Ash didn't win. Did he actually win a tournament for the first few seasons? He
I
got
don't
close, and I don't think he won
I don't
much.
remember ever winning a tournament like when I was young enough to watch it like
Yeah,
episode for episode. Yeah.
so that's why with Midoriya, he's not going to win everything. I think Bakugo is going to be that character that defeats a lot of villains
Mhm.
publicly, but privately, Midoriya is the one that's doing a lot of things that
Mm.
he needs to do.
Yeah.
And again, what's his face is going to die a bitter man, knowing that Bakugo will die, knowing Midoriya is actually people's champion, or
Yeah.
they have to fight, and then he's going to respect him. That's the only way this happens, unless he's just going to die randomly, and then he blames
Mm.
Midoriya for his death.
I don't know. Maybe. And yeah, I mean, like in regard to Midoriya being the one who might do a lot of things and not getting credit for them, like I was kind of amazed that they did that. Where who was it all? It was Midoriya, Todoroki, and Ida. They all fought Stain and they were sworn to silence. So like this massive thing has happened, and a few people, it's been referenced because the bad guys all know what happened. So it was referenced in front of some of their other classmates here in this like last battle with All for One and All Might and all that stuff. But just the fact that the author had something like that happen that probably would really happen, in a world like this and to characters like these, it's fascinating to me. It's like, this is one of the first series where I don't feel like I'm being condescended to by the author. Honestly, as far as like anime and stuff, and I've been watching it since I was like
You see, I
5.
have to disagree because my roommate brought up a point, like with that whole press conference and talking about Bakugo's character. I think they flat out just shut down all the people who thought that Bakugo was going to be a villain, because they essentially say, if you think that he's going to turn over this situation, you haven't been paying attention. And I feel that's a
Mhm.
little bit condescending, and rightfully so.
You think
I'm
so?
kind of one of those people. I didn't feel like that, but it's like, okay, yeah, they're self-aware. I still think he's
Yeah.
going to be a villain, not like a traditional villain, but he's still the antagonist for Midoriya's character.
Right. Yeah. He's still the driving force for Midoriya's character development.
Although I think he might accidentally kill a hero, and they're going
You
to treat
think?
him as a villain, but he actually isn't.
That's very interesting. That could be, because yeah, they're not shying away from how
Explosive, pun intended, he is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I love the series, but I'm terrified. Like after every episode, I'm exhausted because I am so emotionally invested in the characters.
Mhm. Yeah, that's how people are whenever they protest Trump.
Yeah.
But no, whenever a character dies, I'm gonna have to ask you to film your reaction,
Oh God.
and then you'll get that 1,000 subscribers in like a day.
Oh,
No, you should become a reaction channel.
I'm not interesting. I don't know. When I'm alone, like I'm just so tired all the time that I'm not stimulated enough to react to anything. Like I just sit. I look like I'm in a coma, most of the time. And
Unsurprisingly, there are a large group of people who would be interested in watching a woman look like she's in a coma.
probably this is true.
Because I feel like that's half of your subscribers right now, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the like level of entertainment I provide, there has to be some ulterior motive for them sticking around.
Yeah, and then the other half accidentally subscribe to you and they don't even
Yeah.
do anything about it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, thank you for helping me almost get monetized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is still sad because you still have more people watching your stream right now than I ever do. So,
That's insane. I can't believe that.
yeah, well, I'm no PewDiePie.
Oh,
And you're
well,
also like not a shoe on head type. So,
yeah.
although you should exploit your kittens for views.
I I need to try harder, but they're just so squirmy. They will not consent to being in videos. And
Oh, they're animals. They can't.
I know, but still, when they get squirmy and panicky and they start clawing me, it's time to
It's
part ways for the
comical.
day. I guess, but
No, just be a whole like, ooh, white woman gets attacked by her own pets. What happens next will shock you.
yeah.
Or you could do one of those fake videos where like someone is doing something completely innocent. And
Mm.
then, oh, look at this white woman calling the police over selling water because they
Yeah.
don't have a permit.
Yeah.
That screams so fake to me.
I
But
know.
you saw that on Twitter, right?
Yeah, that was something.
Like, no one cares that much about
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
unless it's like a liberal. But oh well.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It's like no one will say anything if you're literally filming a movie at the theater for bootleg purposes. I highly doubt someone's going to care if you're selling water on the set,
Mhm. Yeah.
unless it's tap and not purified or all natural.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to anime.
Yeah. I don't know. Anime is the
Trash.
highest form of entertainment.
The highest form of trash.
No, Bakugo and Ida are perfect, and I really like All Might too, which is ironic because I always talk about how I just the whole like Western superhero thing does not appeal to me whatsoever. But I love All Might, who's like the most like American character of all time.
I mean,
His
discount Superman.
no, no, that's not fair. Um,
Discount Superman.
no, no, no. But like the thing that I love the most about All Might is that like
He's a discount Superman.
no, no, listen, keep up here. When he deflates, like
Clark Kent.
he's both like he's both like the ultimate Chad, but then he's also like the most ultimate like gangly awkward virgin. Like he's both at once. It's a paradox. It's fascinating.
So it's literally Clark Kent without
No,
glasses.
not even a little bit.
Yeah,
But
scrawny,
no,
tiny, intimidating Liz
no,
worm
no,
who's quirky and fun,
no,
stumbles over himself,
no.
but at the same time, he has the heart of gold and he has the mindset of a champion.
Mm, no. But
Yes.
I love All Might as Small Might. Like I
Small
love
Might.
him so much. He's so perfect.
Well,
I
you'll be
just
getting a lot more of him now.
I know. I want to like walk with him through a park and get ice cream and hold his hand and like pet his horrible scraggly hair.
That's literally defeating the character right there.
Oh.
Yes. I don't even think he eats ice cream
Well, he probably can't. Yeah.
because he has that stomach issue.
I
He's
I
like more disabled than Margaret.
I know. I always like compare him to Margaret. I always think about that.
Watch out. Do just gaslight it for all the Margaret fans to come on your chat. So,
Yeah,
Rip.
I have to say, like, most of the reason I actually have any followers is because I kind of siphoned off some of Margaret's fans who had like really low standards and would take like the great value
I'm not
Margaret.
gonna lie, you started out as Walmart Margaret, but you've upgraded to Target Margaret.
You
So,
think that's really sweet. I appreciate that.
yep, you're still here. So, but no, Small Might. I don't like his hair,
I like his hair.
but I do like the fact when he's swole, he looks more Japanese than the Japanese characters, which is like interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I like how like people freaking love All Might, obviously. And
Just because he's a discount Superman.
no, because he's an amazing, unique, completely original, inspiring character. And
Literally Superman.
no. But like the editors, when he like designed All Might, they were trying to tell him you have to make him prettier. You have to make him look more like a conventional anime character. And he's like, no, you can go to hell. And people love All Might, even though he's so different. And like that's cool too, because like so many of the characters in the show are like each of them is a different like homage to a different style of drawing or anime. Like Bakugo looks so much like the main character of Bleach. Like you can tell he's kind of like a nod to
A worse anime.
yeah, I guess. But I think that's interesting too, like that all the characters they're like their physical designs are also different to where they're
There's
drawn
also
in
like
different
a
styles.
literal Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle as a villain.
that's a valid point, yeah.
It's like not even trying to hide it. It's like same look as the original characters. It's like
That
yeah,
is true.
yep, Japanese Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is a villain.
That's true, yeah.
I am glad there's not a whole lot of obvious like comic book influence. I think there's one character who looks like a DC villain. Then I
Yeah.
think one of the other ones looks kind of like a Marvel character. Personally, I think I make a joke about Discount Superman, but I think All Might looks a lot more like Sentry because of the blonde hair and the
Hmm.
facial features. But Sentry is also Discount Superman, so
Whatever.
like any character that has strength can jump really high is a Discount Superman in my
Okay.
book.
Well,
And All Might's American, but he's in Japan, kind of like an immigrant, came from the stars.
I love All Might so much.
Oh yeah, who's the tiny guy? I forget. Gran Torino.
Yeah.
He reminds me of someone, but I don't remember. He's like Master Splinter, but
Kinda,
good.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't die. Because I was
Yeah.
actually really worried for a second when All Might punched him.
Oh my
And
god, I know. I thought that was gonna be a lot worse than it was.
yeah, because I thought that was going to be the arc where, oh, I got you to kill your mentor, and now I'm going
Yeah.
to kill you.
Yeah.
But
Because
then,
that would
oh,
have been freaking horrible.
dropped a bombshell that my roommate got mad at me for not picking up on because I don't care about names, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, notice how they mentioned this character's name here, but oh, did you see what that villain just called him? It's like, I don't get Japanese names. Why is that relevant? Oh, no, see, they're totally related. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, I'm sorry, I don't know Japanese naming customs, but
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, yeah, who's that one guy? The magician character. He reminds me of a DC villain as well.
The one who was like there when they kidnapped
Bakugo. Yeah,
Bakugo, yeah. I
I
liked
like
him. I
him.
thought he was interesting.
Yes, he's like
Yeah.
the Mad Hatter, but good.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then the guy with all the scars, not scars, but the guy that got
His face is
duplicated.
like stapled together. Dobby?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he is hot. I like Dobby a lot.
Hot isn't the word I would use to describe
That's
this
okay.
character.
That's okay. You also don't think Idris Elba is pretty, so we'll
He's
agree to
not.
disagree.
He's devilishly handsome. There's
Okay.
completely different word uses.
Okay, that's fine.
You're wrong, but no, his character, apparently he's important because when they find out all the secret identities of the other characters, he was the only one they didn't mention. So apparently that's going to be important in the future.
Yeah. I have seen a ton of theories about who Dobby is, and they're probably right. but
He's
I don't.
probably an undercover hero.
That would be interesting.
I have no clue.
I'm not gonna say anything about like the theories I've seen.
Well, have you read the feature arcs or not?
No, I don't. I actually don't know a lot beyond this point. I haven't. Like once we catch up with the anime, I'm going to start reading it from the beginning because I want to see. I want to see everything I missed. I want to see the differences in translations and stuff. Because just from like everything I've researched about Bakugo, I know that he's more invested in Midoriya in the original version where they just kind of turn him into the stereotypical one-dimensional, more like Vegeta, Shadow the Hedgehog, boring anti-hero type character in the English like translations. So I want to see what else is like that because I know there have to be a lot of discrepancies, I guess.
Yeah, well, it can't be as bad as like comic book adaptations to stuff because I know anime typically is closer to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you get freaking Ben Affleck killing people.
Yeah, I that just about killed me. Just no, no, no. Why him? The worst casting choice in all of history.
Second worst.
Second worst?
Yeah, because you have Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, I think takes the top, and then Ben
Oh.
Affleck.
Hmm.
Since at least Ben Affleck tried,
Yeah.
but he just couldn't deliver.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg tried harder, and the director liked it, and then he told him to do more and more, and that killed the character.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Batfleck did have that one fight sequence that somehow absolves all his sin, and then he kills people afterward.
Yeah.
I think Stain would not approve.
Probably not. Yeah.
But that would be interesting to see Stain versus, like, DC characters.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Although, I do have one question. So what's the deal with the Nomus? Because they seem, the first time we see them, All Might had to go all out,
Mm-hmm.
and then now they're just, like, defeated easily.
That is true. Yeah, like they were relatively easy to pick off. Yeah. I don't know. That was very interesting. I wondered, like, obviously the newer Nomus, like they have they're different colors. Like they're more a sickly green, where like the first couple Nomus were purpley.
Color, but okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's just ingrained into
so
my.
Are you saying like because the first one was basically black, he was just so much stronger than all these versions?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I hope there's an explanation for that. I hope that's not just a plot hole.
I wouldn't call it a plot hole. I guess you can make the assumption, oh well, these are newer ones, so we had less time to perfect.
Yeah, like they're not like cured or fermented yet or whatever the heck or something.
But at the same time, if the first one is so efficient, why would you need more?
Right. And why wouldn't you have like why wouldn't you make like a batch of Nomus at a time? Why wouldn't there be a whole bunch of the same strength or
because like
strength or something?
Whatever that nullifier that works so well against All Might, it's like, he could probably kill half of the other heroes because I'm sorry, most of the the high schoolers are more powerful than a lot of the heroes. But what I like about the show is that they actually give a reason, like, oh, I would have never thought Jeans would have been a good hero. But he kind of held his own forever briefly against Alpha 1 because it's like...
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense. Because even he says, like, oh, it's not because of your power, it's your experience that makes you a noble hero. And I think that's why freaking Sticky Balls is the worst character ever, because if you had any ounce of experience, you could kill everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that guy so much.
I know. I hate him too. I'm glad we can at least come together and unite on that.
Yeah, he wouldn't exist if it wasn't for anime, so...
Yeah.
But oh well, all for one. I like him. What's with his face, though?
I don't know.
Have one or just damage from previous fights?
I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it. I think like All Might said something that implied that, like because he's from like one of the really early generations of people having quirks, right? So he's kind of cobbled together, like very little of his physical body is preserved. Maybe like what's left is from quirks that make you. Yeah. I don't know. I need to go back and look into that and see if it was ever like really addressed or explained. I don't.
What I find interesting is that the police force in this show is hands down the most efficient police force in any superhero related thing ever.
Yeah.
Because there's 2-3 seasons and not a single villain breakout. That's like really impressive.
That is true, yeah.
Meanwhile, in Gotham, like a villain breaks out every single day.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they took over the police station like 4 times this season.
Yeah.
Police are just incompetent in America, I guess. But
yeah, it is interesting how that's not an element in.
Which makes sense because if like a good portion of the population have powers, you would think a police force which is majority just normal humans would find a way to cull all these people. Meanwhile, in X-Men, the police are also useless, and then yet somehow mutants haven't taken over the world.
Yeah, that is kind of.
I just realized My Hero Academia is just a good version of X-Men.
It kind of is. Politics. Kind of. But yeah, like I think that's interesting. I think how they integrate the police force and how they integrate like legislation and how that's had a lot to do with how people can use their quirks and whether you have to be licensed to be able to use them in public and stuff like that. And like they've regulated their costumes. I think that the fact that they're integrating and considering all those aspects that you would have to deal with is interesting. And
it cuts out a lot of the fluff that just bogs down American shows because it's like, oh, we need like Marvel Civil War and the Superhero Registration Act. It's like, oh, in this show, we're way past that, so we can actually have good stuff and not pointless fighting over the right to be a hero or not.
Yeah.
It's like, let's get paid for it. Because Spider-Man would be very beneficial under that thing.
Yeah.
Would not need a secret identity because it's just people. Everyone has quirks, except the ones that don't.
Yeah.
So if you had a quirk, what would it be? And being socially awkward does not count.
I hate you. See, I did like, you know how you can punch your name into the stupid things? They're called like Shindan makers or something. They're like this Japanese stupid generator thing where you can put in a bunch of options and you just like type in your name and like sign away your rights through Twitter and it'll like spit out a random answer for like what your superpower is or like what color your like left kidney probably is on the inside. Just absurd random things.
You mean BuzzFeed?
Yes. More or less. I did one of those and I like it just generates quirks randomly for you. For that, it said I had a cement quirk, which made me very sad because that's not very interesting.
So you have kidney stones?
What?
No, you said cement.
Yeah.
You also mentioned kidneys like a while ago, so I just made a kidney stones joke, and now I feel awkward because
I didn't get it.
Completely killed it.
I'm sorry.
Stream's over. Time to go. Pack it up.
I'm sure there is some way that you could have a kidney stone quirk. Hopefully that wouldn't be mine. I drink enough Diet Coke that it probably will be. I will be the first person with like a superhuman amount or size of kidney stones. But like
Diet Coke, it's like Coke but not good.
I like it. I like it better. Once I started drinking it, I can't drink regular Coke. It just tastes like awful and syrupy and almost like grapey.
Grapey or rapey?
Grapey, like the fruit.
Because I was about to say, that's like a libelous statement that you don't want to deal with Coca-Cola.
Yeah, also, how do you harness that flavor?
Carefully.
God. Like, I have no idea what my quirk would be. I hope it's not a cement quirk.
As long as nothing to do with sticky balls, and I guess it's okay.
Yeah. What would yours be? What do you think?
Probably being obnoxious.
Oh. I see. Well, see, I was gonna say that's not a quirk, but then, like, you know, Present Mike, the DJ guy, that essentially his quirk is being obnoxious. So
Oh, I forgot about that character.
yeah, I like him. I don't want to like him, but I do, just because he's so
I
outlandish.
liked him when he was an announcer because he was
Hmm.
cliche,
Hmm.
and then he's actually a hero, and it's like, what? Why?
Yeah,
It's just like, oh, he's, I guess, hostage negotiation in
yeah,
echolocation, but no, he
yeah.
sucks. Um, I like what's his face, Akuso. Is that his name?
I don't know.
The guy with the quirk that erases other quirks if you look at
Oh,
him.
Aizawa. Yeah.
I have no clue. Japanese names are weird.
Eh. I
I feel
read
like,
fan fiction, so I have to keep their names straight to be able to visualize that.
huh, you mentioned straight and fan fiction, and that doesn't seem to go together at all.
No, not even a little bit.
No, I feel like he could defeat All for One, but All for One doesn't have eyes, so I guess not.
That's true. That's an excellent point. But I
Yeah,
love him too. I think he's really cool.
I still feel like he could be very good, but I think he's gonna have a smaller role because he's a teacher
Hmm.
and he has to protect the kids. But I'm also like, why can't kids use their powers without permission? Because I feel
Yeah.
like I can understand like having laws about it in public, but it
Hmm.
comes across as too much like Harry Potter, where you're not allowed to use your quirk. Meanwhile, you have 5-year-olds running around using their quirks, and that seems to
Yeah.
be okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's consistent,
Yeah. I don't know.
but I guess it helps them not become a villain, unless you're Bakugo, who's totally gonna be a villain.
I don't think he's gonna. I mean, I really like the idea that maybe he'll accidentally kill somebody and he'll start being perceived as one, you know, and he'll feel like a monster. I
And
think
then he
that's
commits
interesting.
seppuku because he is a monster.
I don't know. I don't think I don't know what's going to happen to him, but I don't think he's going to become a villain.
What
I
if he
don't.
just becomes a failure as a hero and just ends up working at the Krusty Krab and just
He just becomes like a really fat alcoholic who lives in a trailer.
yeah, but he'll have like the perfect hot dogs. He just waves his hand and they get evenly roasted.
Yes. I like
And then
that.
he just has a wife and kids that he abuses because he's a terrible
Oh
person.
my god.
And then he gets the CPS called on him, and then he becomes a villain because he loses the dog. That's his arc. That's who he's gonna be. He's literally Hancock.
That's amazing.
Also,
I'd
that
be
what?
I was going to say I'd be okay with that. I really wouldn't, but it would be interesting at least.
Well, he would be alive.
This is true. That I would be okay with that part.
Yeah, no, he's dead though.
I
He's
don't
gonna
think so.
die. I feel like a good third of the cast is gonna die.
I mean, I hope they do eventually. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but eventually somebody has to die. Somebody has to die. Like, eventually the stakes have to be risen in some way. Um,
But I just don't want them to all die at once because I think it kind of cheapens it.
yeah.
Because if like, oh, 10 characters die, then you can't kill that many ever again.
Hmm.
Because if you do, it becomes a pattern, and then Midoriya just sucks. Because
Yeah.
oh, all my classmates died, but I'm the hero for peace.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then half of the villains will definitely get caught or never come back. I think Stain has to come back.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to get killed by what's his face? With a hand on his face.
The hand on his face, Shigaraki.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I'm going to call
Yeah.
him Facepalm.
Okay. That should be his villain name. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Facepalm guy.
Yeah. But it was interesting because, like, I mean, I don't know, I don't remember much of it, but, like, they clearly clashed, you know. Shigaraki's obviously got an ego and he doesn't like working for anybody or not, bless you, or not being given credit for the bad scaries he does. So that would be interesting. I would like that better than just the, you know, conventional. He's finally defeated by a hero.
Or he realizes the error of his ways and becomes a good guy.
He
And
opens a soup kitchen.
Bakugo becomes the villain.
No. He's not going to become the villain. He's not. He's just not.
I think he can.
I
What if
don't
he
believe
like
you.
accidentally burns down an orphanage?
That could happen. I that is an interesting idea. That is a very interesting idea because I don't know.
I feel like what's the other guy? Endeavor's son is a better
Todoroki.
character
Yeah.
based on his power set alone. Because
I
he's
mean,
practically twice as good as Bakugo.
I feel like he's so overpowered. I
Oh no,
think
he
that's
definitely is way overpowered.
I
Like I feel like he could have killed Stain, but that's why he got cut early, just so that he couldn't move for the fight.
yeah.
Because it's like no way, unless they're going to constantly depower his ice or fire. Because
Right.
no, he's overpowered.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he can make ice falls, so we just send him up north and keep the snow Mexicans out. That works. But no, I think he's probably my favorite character on the show.
Really?
Everyone thinks he's too emo because of the whole daddy issue thing. But he's kind of like again the most powerful, but he
Yeah.
refused to use half of his power for the entire event.
Right.
Like, who did he lose to anyway?
Oh,
Did he lose to Bakugo? Because he
he
did.
lost. Yeah, he wouldn't use his fire, so he lost to Bakugo.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Because he beat Midoriya the round before
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because he used his fire.
Yeah.
But no, he's probably going to die as well.
My gosh, that the world would burn down. Like people are obsessed
No,
with
it would.
Todoroki. People love him. People
Yeah,
love him to death.
yeah, he's going to die. But I feel like he has to either he tries to save his father and then he dies doing so,
Mm-hmm.
and then his father retires, or I think Bakugo will kill him accidentally.
That'd certainly be interesting.
Or like that random villain that just touches him and he disintegrates, but he
Yeah.
freezes his hand, and then Sticky Balls comes along and then kills
Oh my god.
him. Now, I really hate that guy. I'm sorry.
I
It's gonna
know.
keep derailing, but he's the worst.
I know. I despise him. He's so annoying.
The YouTube comments were a person, it would be him.
That's so true. Oh my god.
Yeah. He's like the Onision of the show, but worse.
That's I don't know if I'd go that far, but he's probably just about as useless and infuriating.
He's like Rose from Star Wars. If she mated with Jar Jar Jar, and then that child was mentally deficient, but that child would still be better than he is.
Probably. That's pretty bad.
No, it's almost as if Chat-Mort was a teenage boy. That still would be better than him.
I don't appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
The thing, one of the reasons I hate him so much is because I mean, yes, he's atrocious, but he also does remind me of me. Like,
Oh, it's like you self-deprecation, not a fan.
maybe.
They like stole your rights of your personhood, and you should sue them for all the monies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how dare you make a character exactly as bad as I am?
Yeah. How dare you make a character as obnoxious and cowardly and obsessed with seeing and touching boobs as me? I demand money.
That could work.
Maybe. Yeah, he makes me feel threatened, but also he should not be one of the main Like,
he's like one episode away from being the target of a Me Too campaign.
this is very true. I know, like, I think about that stuff, and I'm like, they just, they just gently
Ignore it.
Yeah, they ignore it, and they're fine. If
He's
he did
gonna
that to
go off
American
Harvey
superheroes,
Weinstein, but
yeah.
then he tries to leave, but then he throws a sticky ball on the door, and she can't
Oh
escape.
my god,
Literally his character, and I hate him so much.
it's very true. Oh, it's
He,
funny.
no, I hate. Why is he even there? He's too
I don't
young.
know. I don't know.
Send him back to kindergarten with all the other kids.
Yeah,
It's like he's never going to be a hero unless he somehow Neville Longbottoms at the end of the series.
I know, and that's not gonna happen because there's like nothing noble about him. He doesn't have good intentions. He's just scummy. He's just scummy.
Yes, but somehow, oh yeah, that's another thing. That Invisible Woman. That's one of the characters that's literally a DC character, or not DC Marvel.
Yeah, the
But
invisibility
he's also
thing.
useless, but still does more than he does.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd that her powers just can't see me. Like,
I guess
so
work for the police
yeah,
and then
yeah,
just stand around the bad guys.
yeah. Like all you can do to compete with any of your classmates with these insane powers is like you have to compensate with your strength and your wit because that's all your power is. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like she's always there.
Well, she might be. We wouldn't know if she was naked.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, like, she was the reason that Bakugo got saved, because she actually grabbed his hand and pulled him up. We
Yeah,
just don't know it, because she wasn't
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like, she was with him the entire time, just protecting him, and he didn't even know it. Literally the unsung hero,
Yes,
the watchful protector.
as long as she doesn't sneeze or something and give herself away.
No. Has anyone actually done that? No.
I don't know. I would. That's why I wouldn't like invisibility as a power. Like I would bump into stuff, somebody would back into me, I would fart and everybody'd be like, What is that? And then they would find something would happen and I would be
Alternatively, you can always just enter an elevator with a bunch of people and fart.
That's true.
And they would blame each other,
That is true.
thus saving the world. Just do that in the villain's elevator. They're too busy fighting each other over it. Problem solved.
That's a good point. That could work,
Yep. Oh well. It's almost what 8:30 for you.
Yeah.
Been
Yes.
like how long has this stream been going on? Long enough.
An hour and a half, I think.
Oh, we have like 6 hours and a half left to be on a live stream.
That is true before we get kicked off, but I don't know. I'm ready to go eat something and
I thought you were gonna eat on stream.
well,
That's
I
what
do
people
have
demand.
I have salted nuts, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen this time.
Gross.
I know.
Oh well. I guess this
There's
is
always
we
next.
tell everyone to like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and if you don't, I'll come find you and cut your feet off with a
I'm gonna
spork.
make a joke, but I'm not going to because that would be rude.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. You can if you want.
It involves a mutual friend.
Oh, okay. No, never mind.
Rip.
We have to be civil.
Although I will say that sheet in the back covering the light from the window is not very effective.
No, not really. I mean, it helps a little bit, but
No, just get like actual curtains.
I know, get real grown-up curtains. Maybe someday. Maybe
I
someday.
make that joke because that's literally my window right next to me.
Is it really?
I have a towel. Just
That's so funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
My laziness knows no bounds.
That is another thing that we can unite behind the laziness and the just hatred of Mineta and his stupid sticky balls and his useless personality. So.
And the fact that anime is trash.
No.
Yes. I will take Justice League Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go over every anime.
No. No,
I
absolutely not.
unironically think Teen Titans Go is better than My Hero Academia. And I will gladly
No,
see
no. I would rather watch like a marathon of all of ISIS's videos than one episode of Teen Titans Go. I'll watch the guy in the cage burn to death like 8 times before I'll watch one episode of that crap.
But
I won't do it. I won't do it.
no, you see, unlike the guy that burns in a cage, Teen Titans Go has a plot.
No, there's more plot to the screaming guy burning in the cage.
No.
For sure.
Because you see that once and it gets boring.
No.
You go, and it's like, huh, I wonder what happens next.
Oh.
How many waffle references can they make in one episode?
Yeah, there's not much of a cliffhanger when the person dies in the video, and that's the end, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm unironically like really excited for the movie that's coming up next month. As a DC fan, I can only look forward to so many things, and I feel like that's going to be the one good DC TV show or movie of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Fiance's back.
I know. I don't know where he's going. He's going far away.
But no, like, Justice League was awful.
Yeah.
Aquaman's going to be Aquaman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman comes out next year, so Teen Titans Go is the only thing I can look forward to.
That's makes me feel better about myself. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh well, at least Infinity War was good. You still need to watch it.
I know. Someday, maybe.
I feel like you would actually appreciate it.
I might like that all the characters I don't care for die, but I know some that I do care for.
But it will prepare you for what happens when Bakugo goes evil.
That's not a good note to end on.
I know, but how do you think he's going to die?
I don't know.
Will he burn to death? Will he drown? Will he get shot through the heart?
I don't know.
Or stabbed in the back? What if the invisible girl kills him? Because of what he did.
I don't know.
And then he just cut to black. Then no music, no crazy outro. Just single line credits.
You just hear me screeching from wherever on the planet you are.
Yep. It's like that screech heard around the world.
Oh my god. Yep. That'll be me if that happens.
And then Donald Trump will be all like, should have banned anime a long time ago.
Yes. Probably.
Then we'll just get that video of your reaction and say, this is your brain on anime.
Mm-hmm.
And then ban.
Yeah, it'll become the most effective PSA of all time.
Yep. And they say video games or a mental disorder. Nope. It's actually anime.
Actually anime. That's probably true. Well.
Alright. This is when you do your outro bit, so I'm going to let you do that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, dear friends, for watching. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, or I'll find you and do things that make you wish you had been aborted horribly. And I love you very much, and I'll see you again soon and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I don't condone the violence that Chat has just described. We will not find you. We will not kill you. But we may or may not make you watch bad anime.
Yeah.
Like My Hero Academia.
No! Oh my god. No.
Alright. Yeah, if you want to subscribe to my channel, don't.
It will be linked for all of you watching this later. I will find it.
No one's gonna watch it later.
When you're watching this later, all of you that most certainly will, it will be linked. So go.
I will doubt this gets
to Nemo.
15 views.
It might get more than that. It'll get more than that, probably.
Yeah, if your like fiance watches it like 3 times at work,
Aww,
and she's like, okay, "What is that Negro person talking about? What is he?" I'm allowed to say that, right?
I guess so. I mean, you are.
I didn't drop any in-bombs, so you're welcome. Otherwise, demonetized. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Someday.
I wouldn't do that to your stream.
Yeah. You're not Satch. So.
Yep, I'm not like Hatch either.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I still like that clip. I show my friends because they think, oh, Nemo's famous on the internet, but they don't
Yeah.
know it's only your channel and you have like 5 subscribers. So.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yep. All right.
I do
Oh,
what I can.
we're still live. You're supposed to end the
I'm
stream.
sorry. Okay. Bye, friends. Go away. Okay.